best music.
QFM Tukanorudushu. Nene Chinawa.
Going where no internet radio station has gone before.
No metateho. Yaya Burana Migi. Tunari speaker. QFM Tukanoroke.
Fellow Ugandans, let's all recognize the achievements of Dr. Apollo Milton Obote to our country Uganda. May God rest his soul in peace. Apollo Milton Obote, Kabiru Mekuji, Apollo, Milton Obote, Ubore, Mangok Tibuni, Wadao, Oyakoro, Wadbanyo, Yiberu Jarawa, Apollo, Milton Obote, Ubore, Mangok Tibuni, Wadao, Oyakoro, Wadbanyo, Yiberu Jarawa, Umigiwa, Mailira, Umigiwa, Meubikipa, Umigiwa, Mailira,
The best music.
QFM Tukanorudushu. Nene Chinawa.
Going where no internet radio station has gone before.
No metateho. Yaya Burana Migi. Tunari speaker. QFM Tukanoroke.
Okay, hapo imataka winyu radio udiku menini watinini ti winyu QFM radio mekani pia bongo ya mwento na deku be radio meti winyu program beda Aganalam ye kwa chakre kwa yukisha pia na omina dita man di Paul Odo Mariam tini NP karchel kedwa to Anabel James Marile mabinu wot karchel kedu tete na achawa beach me udiku meni atini ya Aganalam daro ye yo meko bani tini ati karchel kedu welo kena di amena ati karchel kede obino de pekar ni yute Anabel party president na UPC edit Jimmy James Michael Akena border menene ani mwana kubuni plan lutiene kwanya kwa flow 6 Uganda House by the PLU ula mar led ringa woko begineja kwanya kani flow 6 dan yinda dimu wilo ko. So today I'm happy to be hosting Honorable Jimmy James Michael Akena, who is the party president of UPC, but also alongside him we have the chair of Young District Local Government, a very experienced man in local government who started as a councillor at the municipal council. Then after he became the deputy mayor, he was also a councillor at the district council and became the speaker. He contested to go to parliament, and unfortunately Jimmy James Michael Akena and his team then decided to take Isa Oto Amiza That is Adit Nelson Adea Aka. That is the person. I mean, one only one Katuni Metal local government, a very senior and experienced man. From my right hand side, I think I'll tell you Adit Francis Ogema Awan, a man Polakar, Beruke Wakani program, Aganalam. I think expecting me, Mina Dona Binuberatie. Ati expecting no mena don la binu betatie kwena me wan obinu nyamuno tam karachel a painti Paul la jamia tia Paul me wan obinu nyangi board on Jimmy James Michael Akena. And for that, let me start by introducing allowing chair to be of course greeting us and also saying hi to the listeners.
Oh, boy, my tech jotia winywa hokano Anya Nelson Adeakar o bolquir moyam o medawie ni moga narkas betelo kereni dong ana marta hada pekobo kaina leoni jahyor moga telo kereni complete jama me mogo kelo rambedo moga me olio amejo gobe wakale wangi nugin tiati organic alcohol la metro rubu ginoriye
chemical lorpe
e kai no kene merete bedo enakum okwari wa jona don luka reverane yo lare opuonye dini gino mar chai tieno jone ka lo lekedo tino ba itieno gin miero mar chai medo gonyolo to nini na kwa mongi ni kate digi mogo to ka hoye pero moga loro en ni luoni moga eno donc kope mogo ni yore tia Paul jomo yamni aye punya titino datiye poyunu matek
mana dit Nelson's Adea Aka ame ene beri chairman a beach me oyam this panel mo me tia beri bini ni chairman a beach elera beri chairman a beach me oyam
beri chairman a beach oyam district local government
daw do ya da rio tamario tumi na deka kel credit Francis
apoyo matek lwa wa me kare duchu lwa mo poche la chwala mod boru an na beri ko bu kare ni kari do jo ya UPC du ana do ma ye kana ba mai re mo do ye po ha kari do nga wa po ka mai re ni ne no ka wot we are timaru dang identity na beru party me UPC tin wana bini ya Aganalam o nyamo ye tutut mio ya na yo mi tu nyam kino kan ke party president ada bere ko bukar kare poyo dama bino pe yakane party president bere na ana ko be an pore nya ci la kana mo bere Jimmy James Michael Akena borre of course maro ko bucha per da ne na ko pe da ge mi ra famita do mi ni ti enyo
by the way menoko no he was a very good friend to Jim Akena. Very good friend.
So he addresses everybody as a fatherly presence.
You talk about your friend Nadim.
Otamne tinu bin na Aganalam. Roma malo mere. Man tinu no ni bula dama. Ena no ti amo. Do yin ka ti o ka rin be te unyu kita wala tatu ke.
Ola wo me UPC ni wa kare party ke ni. Okay. Okay, go forward here. And now let me take this opportunity to welcome Jimmy James Michael Akena, the party president of UPC, who has served as a member of parliament for Lira municipality for 3 terms, and also a member of parliament for Lira City East for 1 term, meaning he has been in parliament, he was in parliament for 20 solid years since 2006. Up to 2026, that is 20 solid years. The man who kept on changing his name from Jimmy Akena Obote to Akena Obote, and when people were trying to disturb him to say, okay, because of the name of Obote, that is why you have been going to parliament, he decided, I think that was in 2021 when you decided to use the name Akena without adding Obote, without putting Jimmy, but only Akena. Do you remember that one? In your poster?
I have never had a Obote on my poster. You look at all my posters from 2006, I have never had. In all my life, I've been Jimmy Akena. Jimmy Akena is the son of Milton Obote. I'm proud to be a son of Milton Obote, but Obote is not my name. It's my father's name.
Now you can greet people.
So I am glad. Thank you very much for this honor to be back. It's been some time since I've been able to speak to the people of Lango through this platform. And I'm glad to see what you people have been able to do with your studio here. It is better from the last time.
Thank you.
I was able to attend. But I'm here basically to expound and to answer questions as to what is happening.
Okay.
Where things are. And of course, I heard from your introduction. But I told people, if people are coming to Uganda House, they'll find me there. And I'm still there. If you want to come and visit me next week, please, you're welcome.
Uganda House.
Uganda House,
Floor 6.
Floor 6.
The one I used to know.
It's the same one.
Okay.
Below a committee of Hokano, Adum Jimmy James Michael Akena Borre Koboni, and Nanaha, Perelu, Baba Americo, Niaka, Ketoposta Mere, Edonia Chara Kena Jimmy. And he and the better Kena Jimmy, ye yum to toile bergre water borre, Pe Quanying Papere Come, Monuti Yetikai Posta, and Engeni Jimmy Akena. The man Ginano Kobokoni. And a better party president, my UPC, than put your Binunge, Ichalong, floor 6 in Uganda House.
Okay. Our team, Dennis is saying, good morning, our dear lovely team. I'm so grateful to see Honorable Jimmy and his team is always flexible when it comes to politics. Dennis Kwania. Okay. He lives in Kampala. Okay, that is the Dennis. Thanks so much, Jimmy Akena, Opio Brian. We will also be reading those comments as they come. But then let us start straight away from that point. Jimmy Akena was never trusted in the cycle of opposition. Never. You can talk about Besige, you can talk about Chagulanyi. You can talk about this other cycle of oppositions. Jimmy Akena was not trusted. Why? Because he was seen to be working with President Museveni at that time. I want to say at that time. But time came when Jimmy Akena became the only opposition voice, loud and clear in this country, on matters concerning the human rights in this nation, the matters concerning judiciary and matters concerning other issues pertaining opposition and also people of Uganda. I also remember at some point there was joint press briefing. I think that was PFF offices. And there, after again, there was a joint press briefing at Uganda House. But I want to go back to the PFF office. I remember at some point Dr. Kiza Besigye would say, Jimmy Akena, that one is working with President Museveni. But currently, the only opposition who can speak and the nation listens, who can call a press briefing and all the cameras are running to Uganda House, is Jimmy Akena Obote. When I hosted you during campaign, I brought this issue up, and you told me we waited in January. We would, I don't know whether you remember. You told me in January, in 2026, it will be clear whether the relationship between UPC and President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni will continue or not. I don't know whether you remember that one.
You may have to give more context, but please go ahead.
Because we were talking about you being in opposition, but your wife being in cabinet, and you were trying to give me the background why your wife went to cabinet. You were trying to give the listeners the background why your wife went to cabinet, how you were supposed to be the one, but you gave your wife as a matter of trust. Okay, and I said, what has gone wrong? What was wrong? Why is it that it is seen that relationship could be now not running as agreed? And you said, okay, for now, Museveni is on his way, Jimmy Akena on his way, because Museveni did not allow Jimmy Akena to contest for presidency. And I asked, will this relationship continue after election, now aware that you will not contest, aware that you will not be in the ballot, though you told me at that time you were still struggling, fighting tooth and nail, that even if 1 week they tell you to be on the ballot, you will still run throughout the Uganda. And from that background, you are telling me, let's see in January what happens. What has happened?
First of all, many of the things attributed to me were based on people's assumptions.
Yeah.
Don't president Megam Penya me Honorable Marilem Penya Kedeni Yini Karachon Unujo Peti Geni Komi Achalo Ngata me Pie Megamente Pienjo Neni Bale Choke Gamente Minorida Bini Yero Tira Chalo Minister Ento Ikaranacho Nujo Pegeni Eti Yungeye Jodoten ni Yinde Ti Watu Yuoni President Museveni natia wotu yo mere donc aduong lo tia gamani pola jo unuo aduong president de party unuo tia gamani pola jo penia ikome.
I have always expressed myself. Whenever I've been on radio or whatever, I express myself and I remain true to my word.
Antipola kare ena jo penia ikome ni anatiti gichunya akobu ginati chunya duchu dan nino peti ginorana koba megoba tiye.
And all of that is guided by hopes, aspirations, and beliefs. In my case, the belief in the UPC objective, belief in the UPC program, so it has guided on how we approach things.
Me gino yene chuni ye ya kumi guria mene ngeo ni UPC ngeo twera jo miyo jo gen pikarma nyim ame miyo jo duchu peti ginora miendo hetagere igurini ko pere duchu ane kobu tichu iguri mechapa ching.
End of the day, you need to focus on where you want to go. You need to be able to achieve what it is that brought you even into the game. And that is what we've been working towards. And as we came into the last election, the paths were very different.
Okay.
Ya gikimere ginafire tag jo mirunge kwina me unity ke motami ye dan kwina tamiti ukemi yeno en gina nini no teli achala tela baen enti ya gikimere icha medung jo awriera jo binunia teteni nga ene bedo.
So we went from just trying to maintain our presence or trying to be visible to trying to set the agenda for what Uganda should be. Trying to focus on what policy programs need to be worked out for Uganda. And that is the basis on which the 2026 election was supposed to be. Defining what UPC hopes for Uganda and how UPC hopes to achieve that for Uganda. So it was to be a serious policy push to change the direction where things are going, but to address the problems which affect the people of Uganda. And that is where 2026, it was difficult and it ended up the way it did.
Gina pire te memo gino moho achalo UPC gino nuo moho tam gidango ti kwena me gino kemi ye amedu icha amedu yera choki UPC te chako nyuti jo tum kwena me gino mitini oter luak me Uganda ye kanda neno giti ye ame neno gichi onuru peti ya wuoti gina me joti gamete me karni nuoti aneno pien guri me neno gi tio me neno ber beda te dero kere gina bera meti nyim temiyo kita medo ichama atuni yera memo hatutumia repiere wa bichel ado ngoto chako poko yo.
Now on the basis of why I assume people listen to the speeches or the positions I take, I think it's because I've been consistent. My messages have been always well thought out, well focused, and not focused on particular individuals. It's always on the bigger interest of where we want the politics to go. So, and that one you cannot just wake up one day and suddenly become that.
Okay.
It is something which I have been engaged in, and I think it's what is expected of me at any given time.
Ginumio kopere luaho chahado mako kede wopu yo kopere kede wopu yoren achala tela me chapa ching will pian gina ene kovo e mohi ye pianang pero mo gate ye pian nue tienge yo guri me chapa ching kweno yaye kere kwena me neno me party me chapa ching ateri yelwak me Uganda to me yopola joduyu ka winyo kopere pegate anahari hechahi tie kemo yo kana mitateri Uganda.
So when it's a difficult time and you have to make difficult decisions, you have to rise to the challenge. And where we are as Uganda, it's important that we really respect one another, their different opinions, respect each other's hopes, because whether we like it or not, we're in transition. And how the transition works out and ends up, it will also depend on how we treat each other. If, as what has been taking place of recent, is how those hope to enforce the transition, I don't believe it will work.
And tia koboni kadini ngoingo alaha katia mitubinu yama kiregi tek katiye and ye yum achalo party president me UPC and pe kobo kopi kom dano gina ene kobo kopa kwa hober beda lwake Uganda pe karma nyim kere kwena neno me UPC tian wo akemo joye enti jocha honeno jama mobero timere ya loha medo chiegini ka kita malaha jo amiti bed kere kita dum jocha holoke timere me wuno jo chako diyu duon jo amet petia wopo yogamente mondo lwake oho na binu ngolo kopere.
Okay, no, but maybe at some point Nelson will summarize and translate. For me, I still insist that moving forward, is there any discussion between you and President Museveni over how this country is supposed to be governed? Currently, as we speak, is there any discussion going on?
At this moment, there's no discussion. We're expecting an iPod summit in the near future. One of the issues with the iPod summit is going to address these last elections. The elections, from my own point of view and across different political players, people are not satisfied with how the elections are conducted. The attitude and the approach of some of the operatives of government, especially the assistant RDCs and the like, who are just walking into tally centers across the country and declaring results which is not the will of the people, interfering with processes, interfering with political parties. All of that one we're going to discuss. And in my hope, we're going to discuss it very openly. But like I said, UPC and what we're aiming at the point where we reached was UPC needs to define the future of Uganda, policy-wise. So 2026 was a chance to give us a policy platform different from other political players. We did not get that opportunity. Normally that policy would come up in a manifesto, but a manifesto normally does not have sufficient depth as what a policy platform will actually hold. So I have been working with my team on developing those policy platforms. We are planning to go for a delegates conference to address many of those matters, but also the policies to be adopted. Last week, I started sharing the draft health policy of UPC. I've shared it with mainly the professionals across the whole health ecosystem to get the feedback. I'm very confident on
including those in government.
You see, you approach Uganda Medical Association. There'll be all players there.
Okay.
We also approaching the medical schools. If you approach Akena Medical School, the different departments with the policy, I don't think that is partisan, because the policy should not be partisan.
True.
True. The policy is what UPC believes we need to implement, that we give an output which works for the people of Uganda. And in the UPC thinking, the people are the central issue. If we do not deliver for the people, we will not deliver at all. So we've drafted this one. I've shared it. We will share it amongst colleagues in opposition. I am welcoming comment, because what is supposed to happen in politics is, let's have competing ideas. If you say, I'm going to do health like this, I say, I'm going to do health like this. We debate it. the debate itself improves on the output. But you also now have the opportunity to debate in front of the public, and then the public makes a decision.
Maybe just a quick one before we even proceed. I think currently in Uganda and world over, people are not competing with ideas. For instance, I've never had an election in Uganda where people are voting some candidate or even a presidential candidate because of this particular idea, let's say in health or in education, or they look at the popularity or the trend, someone who is trending. I want to give an example. In the last election, if you tell any citizen to hold the president of the Republic of Uganda accountable on matters of health in his manifesto, he or she may not. Because people, when a presidential candidate comes, they talk about their bad roads, they talk about this and that, and yet they fail to tackle, the manifesto looking at improvement of roads in the country or infrastructure in the country. So, yes, what we are thinking of is something, maybe election in Britain, election in America, but in Uganda, I've never seen that.
Now, if you have not seen it, does not mean we should not do it. If I'm aiming for office, what am I going to do when I get to office? I'm now going to arrive and now start thinking, okay, now we have to plan how we're going to do health, how we're going to do the roads, how we're going to do this, all of which is interconnected. You must come, at least from my point of view, you come with a plan. You come with a plan ready for implementation. That if we're elected, this is how we handle health, this is how we handle education, this is how we're going to handle agriculture, this is how we're going to handle incomes. You have a plan altogether. One problem I've seen with the NRM, and I've seen over the years, the manifesto has become so big and it contains everything. It's not something which somebody can talk about. It came from this issue that NRM was the only party. So all the government programs became part of the manifesto, and that sort of thing. So there's no clear issue of what it is. So the challenge, if I'm standing there against Yoweri Museveni and I say, I will handle health in this way because of this, I will cost it like this, you force him to now deal with it in that same way. So what is supposed to happen is UPC comes with its program, NRM has its program, FDC has its program, NUP has its program. At the end of the day, the debate of those programs should give the people of Uganda a better output. Now, if nobody is bringing the policy forward, I am going to bring it. And a lot of this policy is not based on nothing. Why I started with those particular ones, although the policy programs cover everything, it has always been said, we are fighting against poverty, ignorance, and disease. So I started with the disease element. I am working on the ignorance, the education element. And then the poverty, which is quite large because it touches on many other interrelated aspects. So I can stand before the people of Uganda and say, UPC has this program where we're going to be able to increase our hospital beds from where they are now, which is 0.6 for every 1,000 or 60 beds for 10,000. That is the current situation. And the UPC in the 60s, we were at 1.6 beds for 1,000. That is why when you see these ministers running around to these hospitals and you're seeing people sleeping on the floors, the beds do not match the population. So you need to match the beds, but beds alone do not make a health service. You need to have those professionals who are doing the work. But those professionals also need to be motivated. They need also full staff. You need the nurses, you need the whole team to be able to work. So that is the health policy. Now, if you go around shouting and saying, doctor, why is this doctor not doing this one? Are you solving the problem? That to me is where the difference is. That's where the policy is. Education, we may go through education, but then you now have to look at the results. Are we building the basic knowledge and skill for the next generation of Ugandans to be able to take us to the next stage? Okay. Are you confident that the children of today are going to jump into the world and will be able to compete with the one of UK, the one of China on equal footing? Or at least on a comparable footing.
Somebody can bring this argument, and it has always been brought that during UPC time, as far as education is concerned, you used to have only Makerere University, but now there are a lot of universities that has come on board, skilling and also, educating the children of Uganda who should be able to compete worldwide. Because right now, you used to have Makerere University, but now there is Makerere University. In addition to Makerere University, there is Gulu, there is Lira, there is Busitema, there is Muni, there is almost in all regions. Don't you think NRM is doing something as far as education is concerned?
Education has expanded. I was one person where I got into a lot of fight when they wanted to bring Lera University to UTC. And I refused. I objected because I said UTC is doing its own, covering a particular area. We need a university, yes, but not at the expense of losing a technical college. So I said, if you want to take the technical college, you give me 4 other technical colleges to replace this one, because population is growing. Now, when you look at this issue of, and this is an area where I fought NRM in many ways. University education expanded. Agreed. In many cases, they took over other institutions which were already providing a service. And they didn't replace that element of the service. Then expansion was done without manpower planning. So you're seeing families, they struggle, they get their kids through school, they go through, they've sold everything, then the child cannot get a job. Before the child is walk around and whatever. Before, under UPC, there was a manpower planning policy where you project in 5 years what is our manpower going to look like. We need more of these professions, we need more of these professions, and you build the manpower according to what you're doing. You're looking at your workforce requirements, you look at your development. These things have been disjointed. We are training manpower, then now the government is saying, okay, we are not employing artists, we only want scientists. This is convoluted. You needed to plan it in a way that what will be our requirements now, 2026. What we need 2026, you should have prepared in 2020, at the least.
Okay.
So what you need in 2031, you need to be preparing. What you need beyond 2031, you need to prepare. So you need to prepare manpower for what your needs. What are your needs? Have you broken it down? That is why when I say a health policy, I can break down on the health policy how many different professionals you will need. And one thing which you must understand about the professionals is somebody at the top, for the doctor to perform perfectly, they need a whole tier of support staff. From nurses, technologists, pharmacy, all of these different diagnostic tools which are there, all of these different systems is what helps the doctor perform. Now if you work and you bring so many doctors,
laboratory must give you accurate report.
Yes, if you now have doctors who are laboratory technicians, how is the doctor going to get the report to be able to whatever? So you must build your manpower correctly, that if you deploy a doctor, you're deploying the doctor with a team which can work. Not you deploy one here, you find staffing at 33%. Now how is somebody supposed to work? Then you expect somebody to be on duty 24/7, yet there are not enough people that you can have enough time to rest.
But Honorable Jimmy, you have been in Parliament for the last 20 years.
Yes.
Where budgeting is
No, stop. You're mixing budgeting with the issue of the strategic overview, which is a policy issue. Budgeting comes at the last stage. When I've worked out my whole manpower and everything, I said, now I want to deploy these doctors with this whatever. Then I put a budget for them, the recurrent budget, the development budget, maybe the housing units where they're going to be. That is now where you do the budgeting. So unless the plan is coming from the source, which is supposed to be the executive, chief executive, unless the plan is coming from there, budgeting, you're just doing whatever comes your way. Now, if I'm to challenge him on this issue, if I'm to present a better program than he has, I force the debate. I force the change. Because at the end of the day, we need people who can work for the people. The ones who are going to do the actual work. We may debate here, we may argue, we may disagree, but who is the one who's going to deliver?
But also you were invited to be part of that cabinet and you rejected it. You could have given these good, brilliant ideas in the cabinet so that they form policy for this country, and you turned that opportunity down.
It is not something which I cannot give it to somebody. I have to believe it. I cannot pretend to be concerned about your health. I have to be concerned about it in order to be able to execute it. So even if I sit with people and I give the best idea, if they do not like it, if they cannot appreciate it, or they don't conceive it the way I conceive it, it will never come out the way.
But in this case, you did not.
What?
You did not sit with them to give them all these brilliant ideas. You did not.
This is in the manifesto.
Actually, you were invited to give these ideas, and you rejected.
It is there in the manifesto. I put all of these ideas in the manifesto.
Okay.
And I ran my manifesto or the UPC manifesto against the other manifestos. The health policy which I put out, and I think I shared it with you. I put it there and I've shared it. I'm inviting criticism. I'm inviting that you tell me where have I got it wrong? Where did I not think about it properly? Where have we not? And my issue of the health policy which you come from is not coming out of the blue. It comes from the doctrine of UPC, the past budgets, looking at the recovery program, the development plans, and there bring it into context of today. What are the needs of today? Where are the gaps of today? And in that research, that's where I came up with some things which scared me. 26% of Ugandan children in 2026 are starving, are stunted. That is not a statistic which you go proudly that you are in charge and you're developing a country. Because all of us here, compared to a child under 5, we're the ones who are going to be in Uganda longer than us.
What could have been done differently?
It's the whole approach. And that is why I have to bring my own thing. I cannot be part of NRM and say, okay, I've got this one. No, let UPC define itself for what it defines what Uganda should be.
I will tell you where you are part of NRM, but let us allow Nelson first to kind of interpret. I know you are part of NRM, I will tell you from which point. Yes, I'll remind you.
Thank you. Oh, Ando Akobo kai we no I'm a party president Okobo. Uno ominu wa mare lemo penyani. Ena unity beruni. Tilo kora me tilo ko uni President Museveni ame konyo me donga nyime Uganda. Ente kobo ni lokora gini romu loko ichawa ni petie enti lok ducha mene loko akati iPod kadung jod obchohere me iPod obinu gino tero kob giye meti tijongo ame UPC chunye pinena nyima Uganda. Dang doko tie me chani tie planning delegate conference me beda tie me katu kede tamote gukede guri me tama UPC aporere ente kubuni kopa kwa ho yotkom bai chani Uganda Medical Associations tie me tie laro kopo mio otino kwan ameti internship jam interns potia chulugi danga manu jemo ko dong manu do adonyi policy a UPC amegina katu kede delegate conference e kadungu top word kede iPod kana me pata papat le yetam man gino katu kede dango mitu jongeyo ni dahat chukul kati running otino miotera manu tino enomi anahe kara UPC pe winyo kodi wajoti ya woni pien jami no tamo pire chiono to keto koe plan adonga teacher ni no ngeu gina ngwa jo aket itamge eka endo kopo kanete katuni jo petia PM kede tam ichawani yera mono ke gina mamar lemo katu kede ni ichani jo katia katu po paro ngata tip tamatek jo yero ka ngata meti popila nyo ngata jo ngeo kome nyoti chien na duong ame jo tia yero eti eno koni mono po bedo kitamiru yeri jo eneno mio polo tela pedo tia tero jo line na miru ter eti UPC bino katu kede tam ame mita mopora mo bino chiane te departments nyugura papat ame nutia neno memi Uganda do nyuke de jama becha memio loho kwate dero eka te kubi kuria ya pate me UPC tiuchungi kom kuya ping amele mono luoni ignorance poverty manchian kede yot kom ente mi ya pori ka yot kom pemiri iter kani iketu tana ri UPC kerni o kerro ko miya ni muharraman wel jorombe raman kari tana pero peto katana yida hata long te weko tana te mi yo yot kom mirda nen plan ne yen ama beri ota ma romo jo e kai kom yen ni te ko go teacher rom kwene ama bero tie kan ineno kaneno doctor beda tek no doctor timalo anyira na sitie jo ama pimutuo tie me laboratory jo ama amiyo jo yen ame kuri category me jo ne no ke plan te chwalo gi kwan to tero je kwanata itero jo akuri nioni wel jo roman wano gamo ko ticha romane konyo kora teder ere mando muhu jo e kwanata temi yotuni chamoro otomi ni universities aneko college ariktie banyo technical loko balawich NTC mengera gino oneho ko to chiego kodo ko to loko chukule dwok gina pat PTC zariktie pol barakanon gino ngolo loko enti jamni duhu kato keda tura amenu peti plan enti UPC kati yumegi birunge yokoni kara roman gina romana timere eka oto miyo luak ngeyo dang doke gen kuri neno ni eno mi awur ma nena dung lobo tia ko bi geno tio paro kapi scientist oto weko jo ama kwano at soko enti plan na UPC ka to kede pro paro kapi kat o Germany long nodo tio go ko plan ni ikuri kara roman wano binu mitro kuri joni kuri kara roman ame mio kwani long woro yore dongo toko boni ena o minwa mar lem te penyani konore yin Jimmy James Michael Akena borre peri hibini kwero achima monu party president chimi kere mebedo minister kononyo kuditamya becha yiniti kato kere ni rihi wor komde yi cabinet kunite wolle yo tam kere joni ende ko boni proberu wor yi cabinet le yo tam pien bala budget kao binu jo rubu ko kede miria ngata ma okelo budget to bedi plan na menu jo tia wopo yore ere bagini UPC no ti plan na gino chani yore miru wop ere man budget amene bedi parliament ye mo hapia rioni dano do bini gina ye tia mitu toke tinyimjo ame miru tum imiria meno kelo kede budget cha ba porere gina ene neno awuru mahene yi kweda ene timu otino percent piario ya bichiel kodo keto tino piario ya bichiel como tino mia chiel tia metia bedo ke dan don feo tio gwiro ko man gina me wangyo petia neno amaduogi mera katia nyim mano bedo plan na mena chala baladano matela me UPC ti chani yore ikope puonyere ikope yot kom krikope nyayo lonyo ichingo tedero.
Okay. Now, I think we are going for a commercial break and we will come back. I promised to remind you how you are part of the NRM, how you are part of government. I'll do that after commercial break.
Onodong ingeo ni third party insurance pa bedo gina ini mone komo toka chake ken man mi gwok bot in kede jow kana metie tichiyo keti accident ore keno timere bitam kede Airtel money do we mano do yo penni inde twero nongo insurance cover ni ai chima mege kano de star achela bora beach star bero star bichel star achel ash I Airtel itele bungojo kobi chul kede Airtel money kade tiyo chul ini twero nongo gina mi mone komo toka ni ki website jobe Britam insurance kusimu jo kelbo tuber Britam kede Airtel money lobo chiketich kede
Tewiche yire, tuero balo nino ni aloro, acho gwenye dong balo mera, keto anti-dandruff, onyomo amegeo yelo, meyute wi, bedu gako kwe, yiru cha ber, chahar kerete wicha mo goha ber, miyadi, the promise.
Reiko used to string my best. Reiko, Kakil, crumble. Iron boost. Pull it, tear it, crumble. Reiko used to string, let's the flavor tree.
Mirachelo no kira duga bejo kende ichawa ne iboja nyen nung Reiko Cubes string ario iwebe chilling mia deke ken I supermarket unyo idua hajo kedi wa yeshi ite Ririgo pioranga mitalo
I break a rock boom I dance Nenye silver baka I win it double boom chiki boom chiki
Chakalo duogo ro kede gofo tianario nuongro bumu nyo silverback energy rote gina me umuye gina me neno en gina me lanyo rock boom gufo pio lodge mata me medu gufo pepe pio tino mono yach mega metia doto tino kede jua mekawa tero giarach yuba me chwalo ngeche chato wilo nuo chwaka dule National Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board yuba me chato wili tie pikara check.
Neighbor.
Yes.
The roof still looks new.
My friend, this roof has seen my children grow up. When I roofed this house, my eldest was in primary 1. Today, he's building his own home.
And you've never changed the roof?
Why would I? Good decisions don't need repeating. That's why I chose Domazaz.
Domazaz. Amabati ameru amawangazi. Built to last, backed by Uganda Bati's proven quality and trusted by Ugandans for generations. Available at hardwares countrywide.
Ulodinga like a daily bando, like a daily bando, like a daily bando. Kalakata, enendungu ya kusabula. Mikono juu, free of fire, free of fire, free of fire. Omuliro nguhulira mulimu mutima gukankana like drums. Nesumulula way, there's a lighter, watch me set the fire. This feeling yongera, chibuya can't stop the boom. Kalakata, enendungu ya kusabula. Mikono juu, free of fire, free of fire, free of fire.
Well, amedong better law, a line machine amedong better law in Uganda. MTN. MTN, tiu ita Uganda Communications Commission.
Digida kiri MTN Color Tunes dogo dugo. We're pull, vibes are pull, kiri kera pull meloyo. The star achel abiru not, star achel a Rio Ash. Ita chaku tit kiri MTN Color Tunes. Dogo ite nungu kera meloyo. Boda boda pia Rio. Kere pura mo. Iku million pia ngana Rio. Amitie a puru a komedang. MTN. Karachel. Pao tuwaru jokowa.
Digida mo me lan kede weri kwany weri me MTN ame yi maro bibiru kede kare me lanyu boda chele kompierio metie unyon wongbut chene more ko million piera ngwen wi aria kom chene di kasta achela bero north star achela rio hash yer weri nuonyom yech kede duon weri bot MTN karachel pe utwero joko yom yiwa MTN titelocha dule Uganda Communications Commission.
Digida kiri MTN Color Tunes dogo dugo. We're pull, vibes are pull, kiri kera pull meloyo. The star achel abiru not, star achel a Rio Ash. Ita chaku tit kiri MTN Color Tunes. Dogo ite nungu kera meloyo. Boda boda pia Rio. Kere pura mo. Iku million pia ngana Rio. Amitie a puru a komedang. MTN. Karachel. Pao tuwaru jokowa.
Joshua, have you heard? Old Saints University Langasol is now admitting students for August intake.
Really? What courses do they offer?
Over 50 programs in education, business, ICT, journalism, agriculture, health, tourism, social work, theology, languages, and more. From masters, bachelors, diplomas to certificate and a higher education access certificate.
What about facilities?
ASOL has 3 campuses. The modern Canon Lawrence campus offers spacious lecture halls, a fully equipped ICT lab, a modern library, practical learning facilities, secure hostels for ladies and gentlemen, and a safe, fully fenced campus. Best of all, ASOL fees are the lowest of all the universities in northern Uganda.
How do I apply?
It's simple. Visit St. Augustine campus on Obote Avenue, or her campus overlooking New Akibwa Stadium, or Canon Lawrence campus in Boro Boro. Our admission teams are also in the markets, churches, schools, and towns. No application fees, and admission takes less than 1 hour.
I am enrolling today.
For details, call 0774 120 170. All Saints University Lao. Education for self-reliance and development. Your future starts here.
Sometimes life uwe kalua linda kumomo neneola kasta kaloni weka sasula kaloni limiti aunga kakula boro boro bora ni pepaka boro nera bora ni pepaka boro boro bora ni pepaka boro nera bora ni pepaka
Kakare, chawa Weng me churu momo londi chon. Weloni mete. Man mini kar me gamuchene maduong. Ichawa me miro. D-Star. Achela beach star beach ash. Wege den. Chul chon. Wege midwell chene ki momo lon. MTN Momo Uganda Limited. Bank of Uganda Yadoro Tichki.
Don't be a chela chake, kiluma parpat, mamaho, Muhammadan Woki, Ikarma Chatwil, don't malo Wukin Maki don't quere, be a charameno, 15, Kianim. Do can you materi mo chake, Kilukasoma no, Macumbidi, Chika Conidama Pole in the Canino, Mamma Chulpu Yurio, Kiuma Pore, Pilo your name. Fam, Machake Kitamo, Chelmano, Macumbidi, Tikadoma Tank, Kigume Medikidon, Iromoki can make ye, Absa, and young Mabera the da. Kitchen name, Chara, milim den, marwatek mirni, piti yuti moni. Kimani jama kuwar kin banki yin, manyang dulmeti ye, wan wati kain pikoni, loko mirni mamegi, biachara, miyo dogi kome. Lim absa.co.ug. Onyo, go chim namba, no rabordo, not ariario, de. Pieti mo biachara, imiro koin maduong makaro katiki bank. Ngomai woki ye, piretek. Absa Bank Uganda Limited, Mauberu Company, Mauchone, Matiki number, and when Ariario Beroni, Bank Madume Uganda, area Utiche. Deposit Protection Fund, Uganda, area Woho, Chinepala customer, Makikano, or chilling, Milorapar. Jame Tikanordushu.
The best music.
QFM Tikanordushu. Nene Chinawa.
Going where no internet radio station has gone before.
No metateho. Yaya Burenamigi. Tununaki speaker. QFM Tikanoroken.
Okay, upon attack me no chain equal me chat wheel. Party ye can calculate credit Jimmy James Michael Akena boy, ye chairman the calculate Francis Ogama Awai, calculate one comma beat me or young district local government at it Nelson's at their car. Before we went to for commercial break, I wanted of course I hinted to you how you are still part of NRN and you were like, okay, we will wait and see. You are a member of UPC, who is a member of parliament, serving in government. Are you not part of NRN?
No.
Why?
How am I part of NRN?
Because now you gave a member of parliament on UPC ticket to be in government.
The time I offered, I've explained this on several times. There was a discussion, there were several discussions. The original offer, we felt it could not work, and I gave a counter offer, which was accepted. The last conversation I had with the president was fighting for my nomination.
So meaning Honorable Santa is
I have not had
on your recommendation.
I have not had a conversation post-election directly with the president. We had issues of my nomination, and as such, I would say that is a private arrangement.
So meaning UPC is not part of that
private arrangement
between Honorable Santa and President.
We have not interacted as UPC. I'm saying we have not interacted. We have not discussed the post-election issue, and there are many issues around the election which we need to discuss. I want to use the iPod forum to discuss many of the issues of the election. I spent a lot of time in the election in tally centers this last election. I've never done so. After the presidential parliamentary, when we had the city and district, I was in the tally center, where results were being denied, others were being changed. I come from Electo tally center, fighting to keep the results which the voters are chosen. I end up also here in Lira, again in the tally center.
To rescue Bongo.
Yes. There were many on this thing. That is not how you... Okay. So those are things which we need to discuss. Things which were not done properly. So I have issues around the house of hours removed. So those ones we will discuss. At this moment, I will be very honest. We have not had a conversation.
Did you talk to Honorable Santa about that?
No.
Why?
We have also not spoken.
Because now, are you in control?
I'm in control of my members.
Okay. Because of that,
I'm also in control of the strategic direction.
Okay. About the membership of members of parliament, you state you're in control, but are you aware that out of 12 members of parliament that you have, 7 are not yours?
Now, those are stories. If they don't mind when we go back to election, they will say where they're going.
But are you aware that there are people who sponsor them and not UPC? Are you aware that out of 7 are PLU members?
What is PLU?
PLU.
What is it?
You know PLU.
What is it?
You know PLU.
No, I hear something called PLU, but what is it?
Headed by Moses, you don't know PLU.
What is it?
It's a pressure group working with NRM.
Oh.
The last time I asked the spokesperson here, they clearly told us, yes, out of the so many members of parliament on NRM tickets, they have about 300 members that they directly sponsored, and in UPC out of 12, they have 7.
Now, PLU have said many things. They said they're going to Uganda House. Did they reach?
Well, this kind of you.
No, but on what basis? I have a basis why I'm there. I went through processes to be there. You don't come through the window or just jump up and suddenly appear and say that you're there. PLU have said that they're going to do things which they're not there.
Okay, let me state this on camera. The last time I stated this, I predicted something and it came to pass. I told people before the formation of government that Honorable Santa would be a member of, would be in cabinet or would be offered ministerial position, and it came to pass. The next leader of opposition before this parliament ends will come from UPC. The next leader of opposition before this parliament ends will come from UPC. I don't know who, but will come from UPC. And that leader of opposition will be PLU Leni.
You see, the way you're going, that law which they're trying to bring, amendment, is fraught with a lot of problems. We inherited governance system from Britain.
True.
We practiced the 62, 67 constitutions were parliamentary. So it is slightly different from what is occurring now. But now where somebody of PLU thinks he can wake up and think for us and determine how things are. Whatever was expected in this election, I expected UPC to be number 3. But I expected us to be much higher up, should have been on the ballot. But also, I expect us to change the agenda to bring issue-based debate into the politics. So, look, have the numbers. And that is democracy. Where you end up does not mean that's where you're going to remain. If we were third in this election, next election you're going ahead. You're going for a different position. But why does these people think that they should be the ones to determine first? Do they want other people to determine who should be prime minister? Leader of opposition shadows basically the prime minister. Now in a parliamentary system, the prime minister, the leader of government business, but also most likely the leader of the party in most of these democracies, a parliamentary democracy. Then the second largest party, the leader will be the one challenging. That's where the debate is. So you create an environment where leaders debate. Presidential system does not give you that option. So where I want to debate Museveni on particular issues, I will not get except in an election. Now, how would it help the running of parliament if some people on the other side choose the leader of opposition? The leader of opposition should be the second largest party giving their position on what Uganda should be. NUP's position is different from UPC.
I think in that bill,
NUP's position is different from UPC. So, how would the leader of UPC now be articulating the opposition problem? Because the opposition is also not one entity. UPC has its position, FDC has its position, NUP has its position. The areas will cooperate to be able to work things out. Then there are certain things which are sorted. After an election, the winning party sets the agenda. The manifesto of the winning party is not only now translated into the policies and the programs. My manifesto now becomes the issue where you're going to be challenging them. As we promised in 3 years we'll be able to finish this road. You have not finished it. We've costed it. So you'll have that debate, real debates on those things. But how does somebody who is not involved in your planning, organizing, now pick for you a leader? That's the same thing where PLU are deciding in their office that they're going to now install a leader in Uganda House.
No.
That's the sort of thinking which they have.
Now you know there's a pressure group called PLU.
I saw them, they said they're coming to Uganda House. I said, I'll wait for them.
Okay.
They have not yet reached.
But
maybe they're still on the way.
Okay. We'll get there. In that bill, I saw some sense that you realize that opposition political parties or members of parliament that belongs to opposition, for example, in this running parliament, you realize that chairperson of accountability committees are supposed to be for opposition, right? And in this parliament running, almost all the chairpersons have gone to the NUP.
They're the largest.
They're the largest. And yet, some of their members, when you see their capability, their qualification, and yes, they chair the committee, but when you see their experience, their capability, and so on and so forth, you realize that they will not be the best. I'll give you an example. In the Committee of Local Government, the chairperson is Honorable Betty Naboze, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. But you also have, let's say, Ochen Kiri, who has been the chairperson of LC5. You also have a speaker of Apache, who understands and appreciates how local government operates. And they're nowhere. Don't you think one of them would even be the better chairperson than Honorable? I'm not saying she's not capable, but I'm saying she's not well versed with matters of local government because she has not been part of local government.
You see, chairing a committee is different from owning a committee. A committee chair allows members to put the questions or to raise the issue, gives members opportunity. There are problems where we get chairs who want to own or run the committee, and chairs who also do a lot of monologue. It becomes what they think, but you have to facilitate. If we want to be chairs of those committees, we must get to the ground, work harder, and increase our numbers. You saw people recently, I don't know, you followed World Cup. Can you now say, okay, it is not fair. Now, since there's a winner, the number two we should share. Does it make sense?
What if the referee was biased?
If the referee was biased, the referee was biased. In my case, referee rules were biased. Yes, they were biased. It has happened. The goal has been declared. Competition actually ended. And you are still wounded there. Yes, it was wrong. What do? I still show how I would have scored. That is my policy. And I prepare for the next round. I cannot reverse things. You can't change the rules. These countries all went there preparing. Each one wanted to win. 1-1. Only one is going to win. Number two is only going to be now one. Then the rest of you are there and you have to prepare for next round.
So as a leader of a political party, you don't support that bill?
Not at all. Nobody consulted me. They're not even dealing with what my problems are.
Okay, much as you were not consulted, I see it coming to pass because recently when I saw them removing Annette Among, the former speaker from the race of speakership, and now I've realized anything is possible with PLU because they have the number in NRM, they also have the number in UPC.
PLU, we're going to see what it is. So far it is hiding behind NRM, hiding behind state structures, hiding behind security structures more than state structures. But politics it involves actual solutions for people. I look forward to the debate on the issues. You cannot pretend to be in jail. There's been so much pretense. there's going to be a time when we have to deal with how are we actually going to move from A to B. There's a lot of lies of where Uganda is. If Uganda is doing so well, why do we have these problems? If Uganda is a middle income, entering into a middle income economy, why do we have these gaps? Why are we failing to put sufficient resources into education, into health, into areas where people can be able to maintain themselves? Those are questions which are going to be asked. Those are questions which are going to be debated. A lot of this is being played around, and that's why but I want to force people to deal with the proper issues. Hence, my approach always has been different. I want the issues. I want the debate. If PLU think they have answers for Uganda, I'm ready to debate them. Let them show us what they have, we'll debate them.
Okay. Before I allow Honorable Nelson Adea Aka to come on board and maybe translate, it would also be important that now we talk about issues surrounding Floor 6. When I told people here that Honorable Jimmy will not last in Uganda House, he would be removed from Uganda House by the PLU, and the forces were ready to remove Honorable Jimmy from the PLU, we are told you pleaded.
With who?
With Salim Saleh.
I've not met Saleh for some time.
We are told you pleaded with Salim Saleh. We are told you went to Mama and told Mama, you know what? Call your friend the president. His son wants to remove me. Yes.
I do not want to bring Mama into this conversation. Mama has her own issues. And the president had responded to some, not others.
Okay.
If you recall, during, I think, the burial of Professor Gay's mother, I made some strong statements there. Because before election, Mama had to go for an operation. Those in government wanted certain conditions, or someone basically wanted me to write asking for support. I opted with my brother to cover the cost. We put out
the bishop?
No. My eldest brother, Akaki, on Obote. We put resources. Mama went to India, had an operation. It was successful, she came back. I did it deliberately because what you're raising now is what I was avoiding. Had I approached them
in writing,
they will now turn around. You see, Akena's talking. No, but you see Akena here.
The letter would come to the social media.
Akena's talking there, but behind it is here. So I did it deliberately, knowing that they wanted to corner me on that particular issue. So there is pressure on me. They're going to use every angle to put pressure. But I've not pleaded. I have stuck to the truth.
You have not pleaded with anybody?
No. That does not mean, if it's for UPC, I'll plead for UPC, but not on a wrong basis like this. For me, I want UPC to survive. I'll go everywhere for UPC to survive, for UPC to thrive. But to plead for what? I want to challenge these PLU people. If you think you can govern Uganda, please come out clearly. I'm ready for you from my angle. I'll debate you. I'll bring my issues. I'm ready to debate Museveni. Who are you? Are you more versed with the Ugandan economy and history than Museveni? I'm ready for Museveni. I prepared for Museveni. My target was Museveni. I'm ready to debate him on all these issues. History, current, future. I was prepared. If PLU think they have what it will take, let them jump into the ring. But how they did things behind the scenes, doing these things, changing results, declaring this one, that spells terrible thing for the future.
Okay. Were you tipped that there was plan to remove you from Uganda House?
There were plans on me for a long time. There were plans those even had plans to remove me from the earth. Forget Uganda House.
Okay.
It started from there. That is why I took people from the very beginning. I said, my friend, if everything goes wrong, you put me at the feet of my father.
Because you knew of their plans.
I knew of their plans. I got out of one of the plans, so I knew this one. So I said, but I'm ready for this. If it happens, well and good. I don't want it to happen, but if it happens...
Would you mind to narrate to us the one you survived?
No, the only thing I can tell you is I can liken it to the last Garamba trip. The last Garamba trip, because of what was happening.
The one you went with Nelson?
No.
Okay.
Nelson was the first. When we first met Coin, we were together with Nelson. The last one...
The day you slept with Coin?
The last one, we had gone to try and salvage the peace process. And there was a lot of tension. Even at the border where we would go, the guards were different. We went to the venue. This time we were kept in a much smaller area. We were not allowed to move. We were basically under arrest in a small area. And Masanga was now heading the LRA team, was kept slightly away. So there's no information. No information, you don't know what is happening. One day passes, you don't know what's happening. One day, you don't know what's happening. But you could see tension was terrible. And you could hear a lot of movement, especially at night. They are moving a lot of things. But okay, LRA were expecting to be attacked. Then at one point when they're changing the guard for Masanga, it was Dominic Ongwen who came. He brought 3 guards to exchange. Now when he saw me, he came, he saluted me and greeted me. So I used that opportunity.
That was Dominic Ongwen?
Dominic Ongwen.
He knew you?
Yes, we had met in the previous whatever. So he saluted this time and greeted. Then he handed over the 3 soldiers to the captain of theirs, who now took these soldiers to where Masanga was, and brought the other 3. So he came, he found us still in conversation with Ongwen. So Ongwen now comes, when the 3 soldiers come, Ongwen leaves with these...
The 3 soldiers.
3 soldiers. So I used that opportunity that this fellow has seen Ongwen salute me, found us in conversation. I walked past him, straight to where Masanga was. And I come to Masanga and say, Mukwasi, Oriena. The man looked at me, he gave me a signal, I knew things are bad. I come back, the bishops, all the bishops were there, including
Tommy?
No. I was coming there.
Ochola?
Ochola was there. Ochola was there.
Onwen? Bishop Onwen?
That trip I'm not sure where it was. But I remember Ochola and also remember Odama.
The Archbishop.
Yes. So when I came back from Masanga and they're looking at me for information, all I could just do was, let us pray. So they were the ones leading the prayer. Now that time you're praying and you're asking yourself, because you could see the tension was there. Did I make a mistake to pursue peace? You are basically pleading with God that you'll get out of this one. You are in that question of, could this be the end? There was a fear that you could be attacked and killed, and then
True. But recently,
so okay, that was the sort of prayer. The prayer which I made. This would have been, I think, 2024 or early 25. The prayer which I made was a prayer that, okay, this is it now. This is it. You have like 20 minutes where you're now making your final peace. That is the difference. The one with the NRA was, we might not. This one was, there's no exit. So when I did get the exit, I of course appreciated life in a different way. So some of the efforts which I did was, even if you cannot be there, you must be able to leave a legacy or direction for where the party and or what you stood for. What you stood for. So What does PLU stand for? What is their basis? If they want to jump into the arena, please, you organize yourself and jump into the arena.
Honorable Jimmy, when you were approaching the last election, when you hosted Bobby Wine at your home, you showed to the camera. Of course, they were looking at giving their respect to the grave of Muzei. You told them, when I die, bury me there. Bury me there at the foot of my father. What had happened?
This happened from before.
Were there threats?
The time when I did mobilization, threats were there before. The prayer which I'm talking about, what happened before. When I did my mobilization in Apache, and I made an announcement, I also took the leaders. I showed them exactly where. Before I took them, I took my children.
You are making your will so fast.
Not so fast. The cost of what you're doing, you must weigh it properly. If it comes to that.
Okay, so the producer, there are some few comments, please bring them back. We will go back to the PLU issue. Good morning, Lira. Good morning, Uganda. Tell Jimmy Akena we are pumped to check on his loopholes. Our trust is now on him. Now that Bobby Wine has failed us, let him be strong. And Omar Lem, like propaganda. See how your UPC people can attack. You can see how your UPC people can attack me always. Okay, Omar Lem reminds Mr. Jimmy Akena, President, what happened in Kenya yesterday on the burial of Kwahale's wife, Gloria, about Sifuna, secret of his death. I don't know whether you followed that burial. No, he has not followed. The bad thing with Akena is thinking that he will be the president with manifesto. Even the father was not sitting like him. Your father was not sitting beside manifesto, was also seen to be doing some action. I don't know which action. That is Ochama. Anthony, Raphael Owani, Mr. Akena. Okay, Jim Akena has a brighter vision for Uganda, but the bigger problem is we Ugandan. Worst of all in Northern, we hate ourselves. I don't know for why. Owani Raphael from Kampala. Okay, Raphael Poematek. There is Kovia. Good morning, people of Uganda. Today I'm happy to see my party president. We Uganda, let's love our son of soil, and we vote him in 2031. But are you contesting in 2031? I'm not sure whether he will contest. Okay, let's get back here. Nelson, you have a lot to translate, but we will get back to you.
Thank you.
On the PLU issue. Are you not afraid that you will be removed from Uganda House?
What they're trying to do and what they have done, like what I mentioned about elections, issue at the Tally Center, they have no respect to processes. Then they believe if it is this, they should go ahead and do it. I believe elections matter because that is where you get endorsement from the people.
Okay, when I hosted the spokesperson for PLU here, he was seated where I'm seated, he was seated where you were seated, and I was on this side. He told us clearly that Honorable Jimmy invited NRN into UPC politics. That Honorable Jimmy is the one who invited us into UPC politics, and for that, we are now into UPC politics. I asked him, how was he inviting you? Said, Honorable Jimmy invited us to help him remove Olara Otunu, and we did that successfully to him. And now that he has turned against us, we'll do the same. The way he did to Olara, we'll also remove him like that. Actually, he claimed you are keeping Olara's laptop up to now with $4,000. Could that be true?
You see, I cannot be answering allegations from somebody who has not party,
yes,
who has not present, has not been anywhere present. In 2010, I contested against Olara Otunu. Olara won the election, I came second.
You lost.
I lost, I came second. I conceded. And I mentioned I'm going to go back and concentrate on the party. We come back in 2015. A rough process in the beginning, I joined the process late. UPC process has you must get the endorsement of 1/3 of the districts. At that time, we had 112 districts. On election day, I think 110 participated. 2 had some problems or whatever. To be able to appear
in the delegate conference,
you need 34 districts to appear before the delegates conference. I came with 67 declared. There were some which were not declared. My closest rival had 12. So the only person who can appear before the delegates conference
was
me. Why? I had the support of the members across Uganda. Now, where's the comparison? Where's the comparison? Because somebody paid a fee, you go to the people. Did I remove him from the process? No. He went to court to try and remove me, and there were people who had an interest to remove Akena because they felt Akena's being on the ballot in this election was going to push at least certain aspects and bring certain things in the forefront, which they felt they could not deal with. So they would prefer Akena is not there. How do you run that comparison? And who is this PLU person? Because you see, when I meet the president, I don't meet with people. Hey, I can sit with the president. We've met before. I don't need some PLU spokesman. Who is this spokesman anyway? Do you know if he even met the president? Has he ever met the president? Or maybe a picture in this public gathering?
I'm not sure.
Has he sat down and spoken to the president? Has he discussed issues of Uganda policy and whatever with the president or debated? He has not.
But he might be knowing some facts.
Whatever facts he knows, I have my own facts. I can confirm these facts. I've been the one pushing for this iPod meeting. I'm waiting for the iPod meeting. I'll sit there with the president and I'll bring out the issues. Why not? But you had people who are nowhere. They've never been in a policy discussion. They've never been at any senior level. They are busy. They are talking.
For the first time, before we go for commercial break, I'm not well versed with the process of this last election for the UPC president. There was a lot of confusion. There are people who claim Akena was nominated. There are people who claim he was not nominated. There are people who claim that there was agreement between Akena and Adim, so that Adim becomes the party president, you become the presidential flag bearer. All this. Okay, wait, Honorable Jimmy. There are million people like me who did not understand the process and where it ended, and why UPC could not come with one leader. What happened exactly?
We were in the process leading to the election. I cannot guarantee that process would have united the party completely. There are still other groups which were there. But at least what was leading was those who were intending to participate in the election. Tending to carry the party forward, tending to carry the party message forward. Somebody entered the process not to run. Clearly now, with the facts which are there, not to run, but to hawk the party. I'm calling him a hawker. Got into the process, then was now running from office to office. For those who had an interest to stop UPC to get on board.
But he qualified to run.
Qualification to run,
he met it.
He met the first stage.
He paid his nomination fee of 20 million. Of course, he claimed you did not pay. You yourself, you did not pay.
Now, who is to prove?
That is what he told us.
Well, the legal profession says he who alleges must also prove. If he has alleged I did not pay, let him prove I did not pay.
But you paid?
Of course I paid.
So what happened?
How does a party run if I do not pay?
So what happened?
Before we reached the district conference, court came. Court issue came where they said Akena cannot
run for the third term. And you knew that?
Now this court is going against the Court of Appeal.
Okay.
The judgment of this court is different from the Court of Appeal. So you ask yourself, how do you deal with it? And it was clear the enforcement was going to be there to stop Akena. But if you're saying that this is the most important principle, okay, let me break it down. Let me try and break it down a little seriously. I follow American politics, or at least American history. When did America bring this 2-term limit?
I'm not aware.
I can tell you. It was after the term of FDR Roosevelt. Franklin Roosevelt is one of the presidents I admired a lot because he took over the leadership of America after the Wall Street crash, the Great Depression. So he was trying to build the country from that issue. He was elected for 4 terms. He died in his 4th term. And that is now where in America it became a big issue. And if you follow American politics of recent, there's a big fight between the parties, because when you're the president, you'll be the one to appoint judges, especially Supreme Court, but there are many other positions which you appoint. Other federal judges and the like is appointed. So the fight is to be able to appoint. So Republicans want to appoint, Democrats want to appoint. Republicans want to appoint, and when you have a president for too long, they end up dominating more than one sphere. So you find the president, Roosevelt, was able, the Supreme Court justice retires, he appoints another, appoints the other, appoints the other. So you get the dominance. In the case of Uganda, is there a judge or judicial officer who was not appointed by Yoweri Museveni?
No. I don't remember any.
None! If they were, they would have retired by now. They should have retired by now. They would have reached retirement age. Every judge, Supreme Court, Court of Appeal, High Court, magistrate, who was appointed there? Yoweri Museveni.
Through the Judicial Service Commission.
Who appointed the Judicial Service Commission?
President.
Education Service Commission?
President.
Any commission?
President.
Human Rights Commission, every commission.
But you also had the opportunity.
You see, all of this, it defeats that whole argument of the dominant. You are now going to fight somebody who is extremely dominant and completely entrenched. Then you say, no, Akena is too entrenched that he should not stand against Yoweri Museveni. 2, Britain, if you look at Britain policy.
Before we go to Britain, one thing I love about the president is that he plays around with the constitution. Time came for the term limit, he was able to amend the constitution. Time came for the age limit, he was able to amend the constitution. Honorable Jim Akena knew about this 2-term in the constitution, and he refused completely to amend the constitution. You had all the powers to amend the constitution, and you did not. Wait, you will prove me wrong. You will prove me wrong. You did not amend the constitution. But also secondly, in the 2 terms, I remember, I think you called the delegate conference twice.
Yes.
Twice.
How many delegates did the NRM had in those 2 terms?
But why are you comparing yourself with the NRM?
The NRM constitution says 2 in 5 years.
What about US?
Ours is 1 in 5 years, 2 national council. Not ours is 2 in 5 years. But it's the same. So if the court must enforce UPC constitution to the letter. Why have they not enforced NRM constitution to the letter?
Because none has gone to court to challenge that.
Exactly. Who was encouraged to go to court? And in most courts, you take the balance of convenience. Balance of convenience. And now he's saying he wants to stand, he's got whatever. Have you seen any preparation? Have you seen anything? No. Akena is there who has done mobilization all around. You see the people supporting. You see the candidates. Who was affected? The party with all its members, with all its candidates were affected for the benefit of this one person who was just talking, not even really doing the thing. And the issue of the 20 million was not his. That's why I said he went to hawk. He went to get somebody who give him money. Now we can use this as leverage to stop the party. So don't mix these issues. If the party really, if somebody was really interested in the party, what would he be there? What would he be doing?
You did not give him the chance.
Is that how you get the chance in politics?
You did not give him
Is that how you get the chance in politics?
Let's come to it.
You show where you want to show your interest on the ground. So if you say I'm the one who's stopping you, did he stop him in Oyam? I was in Oyam campaigning. Everywhere I moved. Did I stop him? There was no preparation, there was no effort to actually do it. People just make lip service. But his issue, I can tell you, because he likes saying that, his issue, and you can even look at the message he sent, he's after money.
He sent you a message requesting for money?
Asking for money, time and time again, he wants money. This whole thing, he wants to squeeze me for money. I am for the party. And people are saying, there are those who think they want leadership, they'll be able to get money. No, in the point where I am, you're going to be spending.
I'm told.
You're going to be spending.
Before we go back to the issue of the constitution, I'm told you offered him 100 million.
No.
You offered him 100 million on your WhatsApp conversation.
WhatsApp conversation is there. They've never offered 100 million.
You offered him 100 million and he told you, I've spent over 600 million.
You see, maybe if you want to...
No, I don't want to check your phone.
I don't want to put it here. My phone is here. Okay. I will tell you, there's a group. There's a friend of mine in the journalist, I'll not name him for this program. In one of their groups, there was a talk of about 14.5 billion supposedly offered to UPC. And it was being circulated there. So this friend, who is a journalist, contacted me and said, if you got that money, you share some with me. I laughed at it. Now, after this process of getting a certificate, Ena calls me in the corridor and shows me that same message on the phone. Then he asked me for 5.
Oh, a share from that.
5 billion from the 14.5. I said, what?
So you people are trading UPC?
No. I said, one, the money is not there. Secondly, why? Why would I give you 5 billion? If I have 5 billion and I've got candidates.
Honorable Nelson,
I've got candidates.
you will not translate all, but this last part, please help me translate. But as you come to translate that last part, I may not be fully aware, but at least I know something little. That I don't know whether with your consent or without your consent, there are members of UPC in your cabinet who are frequenting offices of internal security organization getting money in your name. Are you aware?
Not getting money in my names. I actually, even when I was looking, when the blockages was taking place and I was trying to work out where the blockages was, I reached his offices, right at the top. And when I shook it properly, he said, not me. Pointed ahead. That's how I ended up going to the president. Each point I went, you reach and say, no, not me. So interaction will be there.
Some 1 month ago, some 100 million was given.
For what?
Wait, let me tell you. Was given to a member of your cabinet. You might be aware or might not be, I'm not sure, but was given the issue. A member of your cabinet, a core team in your cabinet.
To do what?
Was given to go and convince a dame. And actually that core member in your cabinet seemed to be serving 2 of you.
Well, convince him to do what? Convince a dame to do what?
Convince a dame to accept and give green light to PLU to come and evict you.
To give green light. I saw them in a press conference.
Yes, you saw them in a press conference.
So
I'm told because some members of a dame were arrested by you and they were still in prison. I don't know whether that is true. They were still in prison because they tried removing you forcefully from office and you arrested them. Could that be true?
Yes.
Yes. Could that be true?
But they're not members.
They were donning on UPC.
No, they didn't have any UPC t-shirt. They used the swearing in. When members were swearing in, there were members who brought people from up country. So while the parliament was restricted, I think they were allowed 3 people or something inside parliament. Most of the rest would come to Uganda House. They want to interact. Then after swearing in, they had celebrations in the evening. The day when they entered, there were celebrations going on. I attended the one of Kiri. Because we were dividing ourselves. So when they entered headquarters, and throughout those days, there were people coming in and out because we were swearing in. The time they entered, the headquarters had only 3 people in the headquarters. There was Tabitha, Luanga, and Amos. 3 people. Now these people came in and they literally took over the office by force, and they locked it. So we removed them. Removed them from the office.
And now
they were asked what they were doing. They were arrested. They were arrested. They were brought to court. There were 9 who were arrested from inside Uganda House offices. None of them had a party card. None of them has even been a member. None of them has even offered themselves anywhere. You see, when you talk about membership, we have histories. Now, this is somebody has not been anywhere, not seen anywhere, saying this or whatever. Then when they were asked, they said, no, we were paid, we were recruited from Natete Baspa, we were paid to come and take over headquarters, this UPC headquarters. They were granted bail.
But they could not
almost
pay.
A month ago.
But they could not pay.
They have not paid. Only 4 of them have come out. Is that my problem? And the people who are coming to mess up the headquarters when we're swearing in MPs, which we had to struggle for in difficult circumstances. And you just think that you can just walk in and mess people's lives. Do you know what people went through to be elected?
Could that be the reason why you have summoned the 9 members for disciplinary?
No, they're not summoned. They're not members. These people who stormed the office.
No. These other 9 members. I'm aware Adim has been summoned. I'm aware, who else? Let me remind myself so fast. Adim was summoned. The 3 commissioners that declared him were also summoned.
I referred them immediately, they did that one. So if you look at my letter, my dismissal letter for those commissioners, I put it there, I am sending it to the disciplinary committee. I wrote it immediately. And that's what
and for Adim, what crime has been committed?
Adim's crime which has been brought up was, you see these letterheads of UPC. Somebody signing as president, calling people for meetings, delegates conference. If I wrote as a QFM management with letterhead, would it be taken lightly?
But Adim has been your friend, has been a member of UPC. He went through the process.
I have no friend when it comes to the party and the issue of the party. If it is the issue of the party, you're not my friend, you're not my brother. And I've said that on time and time again. When it is UPC flag, whether you're my brother, what, I will go for the flag. And I've done it. So when it comes to the party, whether you're what, you cannot come in front of this thing and say, oh, he was my friend, so it means he can do wrong. I'll be the first one to discipline him if he was my friend. The first. The party is not for him to.
But he went through the electoral process of the party, and that election has never been concluded according to all of you. That election has never been concluded.
When the court ruling came on 17th of, I think the 17th or 18th of July, we were scheduled to go for district conference. That same July. And then after that was delegates conference. Already scheduled, the whole plan, the electoral process had a timetable. Now when this court ruling came, it created an issue. Now UPC is going into an election. What do you want me to do when I'm going into the election? I just give up.
You are going to participate as the president, as the candidate in that election?
we were going to conclude the process.
But would you participate as the president?
Yes.
When you have not amended your constitution?
When I am taking the ruling of a court of appeal.
That?
Quashed.
The first term?
Yes.
But you acted, you signed letters, you acted, you benefited as the president in that first term that the court of appeal has quashed it.
Okay. We are sitting here today. If court tomorrow says I was wrongly elected for MP for Lagos City East, after the term, what do you do?
It doesn't stand.
What do you do? Will you say everything I spoke in Parliament should be expunged?
No, at the time.
Every vote.
At the time you were speaking.
Every vote I participated in, would it be expunged?
No. No.
So, would they reinstate somebody who challenged me? If Omanilem challenged me for 2021, 2026, and you win the election today, would they now make you MP?
No.
Would that ruling make you MP?
No.
So what they dealt with, when they dealt with that term, it was after that term. The ruling, even the Court of Appeal ruling came after. It came in September when we are now preparing for election.
In your right consent, you have always served for one term.
No.
How many terms?
You're reducing this into some. I just explained to you about Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Did you appreciate that one?
True.
America brought it because of that issue of control. Now, if it's a question of control, Jimmy Akena, you brought the issue of the commissioners. The UPC constitution provides that the president appoints party electoral commission. Jimmy Akena, in this meeting, which they said I didn't have a right to call, showgrounds, where delegates, UPC delegates of the delegates conference met. I asked the delegates conference to allow the National Council to elect members
of the commission.
Then they will be appointed by me. That is Jim Akena. Instead of consolidating or enforcing that he himself appoints them alone, I asked National Council, which they did.
To nominate and you appoint.
And I appointed. I was setting a precedent of deepening the process. It's one of the issues which is us in opposition, we keep on crying, oh, the commissioners are being appointed and whatever, there's no input and the like. I did it in UPC. I set a precedent. So, where I would have an advantage of saying I'm going to pick my friends, I did not take that advantage. Instead, I gave that advantage to the party. And now, by implication, you are saying Akena wanted to stick to power. And then, okay, if we even on that thing, out of all the candidates of UPC in 2025, 2026, who was ready, who was prepared, and who was going to stand?
By look of things, Jim Akena.
None was prepared. There are those who are grandstanding. You have been in an election. You've gone through a process. You stepped out of this election because you understood what that process would be. You know what it weighs. Now me, who has been in the thick of these politics all these years, do you think I don't understand that one?
You do.
Any campaign of UPC, where have I been? I've been in the thick of it.
At the center of it.
Always. Now, this is a chance where UPC would be able to thrust ourselves right into the center of national politics with a clear agenda.
But you did not clean your house. Okay. Adit Nelson Adeka. We're me car. Put a walk in going to cop me with you. PNN. You me have them in going to cop me with you.
Before you go there, on the clean of the house, I can clean the house. Then a neighbor conniving with somebody around can break in and mess up your house.
So in that circumstance, who do you blame? For
the one who's breaking in.
For UPC not presenting a candidate in the 2026 election.
I know who stopped me.
Who?
A NAP has no ability to maneuver court. And where you get a ruling which is above, I know where it was stopped, and I know where I'm going to take my case. iPod opens some doors, not all, but I'll open them in iPod. But most of all, I'm going to open them in the public. You denied me opportunity to bring my policy, I'm going to bring my policy. Whether you like it or not, I'll find ways to bring out the policy. And let that policy be judged against what you have. I can tell you honestly, UPC has a better policy for Uganda today and tomorrow. I've shared with you the health policy. Feel free to share it with anybody. I can stand by it. I produced it, I worked on it. Put it against any policy. Put it against anything. It will stand. It will stand.
Okay. Nunete ko bedung Nelson Adit Francis. Buda diti yoreba na binu kele. Abinu kele. Ko etingi ya chala ba me ko etingi ko pa me on Jimmy Jacob ni. But kati na tonti ya Marlen. Pi ko pe UPC. Kana tia Marlen amo ta UPC yero. Tela mo kele ping. Obelan pingo pitemo ko bigi no men mugin pone atena yinga atena na yo for example ana bila ko bigi ni yotia me kwanya kana kwa Uganda ole jo yete joda but now Akena can confirm there was some plan attempts were made to remove him from Uganda House, and for him is still waiting for them to come. That of Njima Akena doctrine do ya do gola meja ma pola me ya makobo ko begin edimena ko me chinda me yo bero peño que remetía Akena gamu chena dimo gamu chena que yo mo me retia wo boro do ke pick up me mit chente yin UPC ena tire ya boro gola mere so abir me yo Adit Nelson Adeka bero que ka me gonyo polo wo be part me we be amara good UPC pien ko me UPC ni doi could meta a members may you pis ngata ni chapela na tia pu wi ni Akena tie po do je ko so how poyo matek lo akametia winywa kopo kobera Paul etando aketo kai wie na machiel o minwa Marlem openyo party president ni yini bedo dul komena rem te chako ko beni gino miyo nyurni yini bedo dul ko mena rem tien o mema ni me UPC ameti parliament chani abiri ye ti ameti ulengero ko bot PLU amenu ti NRM yakino members me parliament apario jo abiru ti ulengero ko eka Dr. Koboni ka pebeda mono keken yinangri ko bidimiyo minodi otiu board governmente amenyurni yiri bedo dul kom party me NRM eno ken mer roko ba chigi ni yin jo chima memani amabedo honorable Santa Lumugwan mebedo minister donc man pe nyurra tere ni yini bedo dul kom NRM ente ko bi mechi mominode ubedi ngechere da teke lingecha party te ye minode metimo me woti eti karna henu ti pian winyero no ti ya kinagi enta wor mani gina do tubugi atek obedo me punge ohoko pian pedo no ti ngatora tek kamera mo chung me chat to duon UPC apati en Jimmy James Michael Akena bor pian e chaho yihere chion e chaho da loke ku kede jona me jodo ko beni ene bedo jang NRM pian no ene tie moyo ku yora chilla bon loen enti kop mechi Mosanta enu no pe winyere ye manne ka tukeda le di my iPod eteni ango tamango no timere ene tienge yuni tigi nora ma mitu gudi joy party mere me good come eti pobero tamma party me ko boni mana dungo chi Mosanta ni party poberi ngechori ye da poberi agreement oro gino kene mere honorable Marlem Dr. Penyoni itini yang ni ikarmoran re binegecho ni leader ma opposition ya nu eta mane do etida hegecho koni abuk akala ni leader ma opposition ame peru parliament wana wori ni otum abedo dana ma ya UPC pingo abedo dana ma ya UPC piano ti ulere bot PLU ame PLU
tiu kere kita me government chani tia di joni member leader ma opposition nyojoyi parliament members ma opposition du yer amegina tichidiru gidu menena ni dano ni ya UPC dana ya UPC ni no dano gi me PLU president Kobi na machiel leader ma opposition yerubed ngata ma obero na Mario yonge ngata ma olanyo metero bedo president ede peo kwanyi yidano na madek man jone do tia timo gini kama ruchu opposition memi opposition pe bedo kere gupu ye parliament mirodo dwanyo wige otomi ya porni kaine ni chani jo ametia telo committee ame kwedo government bara public accounts committee local government gini duj poleria ka enu party president ko bimiro da beda mano ende ka med jo kene yenu obedo mirigi piano opposition miro ke dana tek ameromo telo kwedo government ere nang te ko boni telo committee po bedo medo wuod lweny obedo kama miyo jokare miyo tamgi ame nuo katu ame nuo government ame ti lodge peti atimo omiyo alternative position tamo kena me party me government ati gini duj enena ni bill lora mo tia katu kere ni duj tia kelo kama miyo position kekera pa mitu bedi gupu achiel yon man gina neno da Dr. Mede Koboni pola tela mena remo pongi goba bien kaneno goba gino kobo goba me okoni chiene dong tia ma oker tutwale puonyere UPI kango gi chiene tia ma mi yenti dahatal kani gudu tio mio kani chiling adi eti man duchu opongi goba pien gino otimo kame umo wangjo eti no chiene mora me romo puonyere pe chiene mora romo ko pe yot kom nang pe kari chiene romo ber alwa so tela ni opong kai goba ai kada ho Akena Omar Lem Dr. Koboni koptia kobere ni jome PLU tia mitubinu ma yoko riemo ko e floor bichiel Uganda House yini neno ningo pien kopdango ken tia wieni yini wori baho dogi bot Salim Saleni konyi po mae po riemo ko e orcha kredai wor bot mamani madmi ria borre kunikoni ma mar wori lo una duong lobo pien wori tia mitu ria mako e office ente ko man biro tuon goba mora me pero motimere pien e karame jojo bini tammi manu mir mama mer mir wori ya yana loba gamento ko ne kerri choj me we hatim ngo we akonyi mate kere chiene kere chwakete o ere gende nungi mano biro wicha mo boli nyim gini mo iye do gina gini te timo gina minera akahi minera duong gino to kwanyo chiene gi eno to tere mat miria oho pien gimiri gi tieni pe ngato bin lili UPC kere jame ame agot tiela me gin pekitinia instead jotia mituni olili UPC ko memi UPLU ka to me ruruchu wijo enti gin notice steady dangotero UPC kana mier woriye dante ko bi plan na pe ka me kwanye Uganda House plano kan nu tie me kwanyo ko mero ko eno mi pola kare ene beru bine te ko bijoni kai nendo ko na tumu ko lwenyana chahoni unwori ha woni tutien papa dai wore kobo gini na habod Bobby Wine karabobi wine bin peda kobo kabod Bobby Wine kobi na hajode na hotino mere kiri jo member me pate guru gete kobo ni tekido lwenya ni otunu na kwanyo kona kera wuni tetien papa aduong Apollo Milton bor aporere otemo kwanyo ko mere karme ginu wor garamba me ario apati yana wana wor kedgi ichame tunu kununu mir wotu le tam kere ngata maluni matsanga ni ubera gisu arete no ngwenti ubinu ngwente binu to nene tete goyo twon salute toro ame gini lako no wang yi jo te chako neno rubu do tie monyi tunga timere ame cha na cha te do lego kaboto bani lo ki cha me ya na do en romoni ati guma ber to ber lego na cha ene duogi laro ko gini masanga mor masanga ni mor masanga lebo gishu ame leba hena morwenyi wiya no nok e cha de duogo jo te chako penye ni ko pango e laru ni jo amit winyo ko pe bor ate keto chiero rio kuna ko beni lego keru ni jamini lego pien ka kana wana ti wuri chani pedo tia be cha more ken gi no romo timer do mi chunye kan te ber parni ena kena e timo balbo me wuot por ko pe ku o mi do joni tia moye da do ngamito kwanya hakwo mere pia na chigi ni mo hatutumia rie piero ngwen jora da otemo me kwanyo ko mere mundu lego na te konye te bedo do ilega tek ame bedo lege e ka doko o marlem te penye ni yina teteni do hanoyo penye ni peti luoro ni PLU abiru kwanyo kwa Uganda House pien Jimmy James Michael Akena bore enari bini wow enare miteteri UPC memi yo kunyi kwanyo laro tunu Uganda House ameran joto ko big laptop lara kede tutumia ngwen me US dollar chien me logo America bina kwanyo unuko donga manni ginna ngeti miti kitari gino konyi me kwanyo lara cha amani doko konyi medo kwanyo nga medo kella dim ande ko bina machela dim magentia ko buoki adim po qualifying po carro po wobo chi here mebero party president eno tiu ka chiene mera momie meruchu yi party me UPC tetero wot keti receipt enti gina lobby yonge keti chamier ko wood I district Uganda lor ni duchu ame kade nuongo chwaka no nok mielu chwaka mo ya district piera deku ya ngwen Uganda ni enti en Jimmy James Michael Akena e keru chiene merete la ngo pi Uganda ni duch ame jo duchu da ngeo ame beru woti district kune loko kede jo a district akaro piera bichielo ko enate mi ye chwak ento di mametia kopi district adi ame chwahe eno no tamo kani chulo chiente cha do bere choye enti chike UPC koni I chulo chiente e kati nungu chwaka do ngagoro I district pede hangwen
you know tell me district
conference delegates mere supporting in the district conference enti man for team erekom nga ikoma dim do adim kong nudo monu kong por na machela eno por ko dando chako tichie pepper Papa medu mchwa ni party president me UPC dater cha keto chieye kon kajo pira de wi ngwen ken district pede ngwen po chwa yurni perado I kara kon echum so mande imi yeni beru president pingo domio eneno ka dimu beru bala ginoro ka me gamente tia tikere me ruchu yi party me UPC dohai ni nomoro doko koni obino mio killing million mia chiel bora ni an jimu bino mio obino time mi you killing million mia chiel bora dim memi yeling iti mepe yelo Uganda House koni mono tuan goba ginene poyo mare lemo penya ni jome UPC no bero lonyo office me kweda nyo iso me won moyo chiende moro ente koboni bala mana poro no tiu kwanya million mia chiela uka kobuchia memi yubod ngara chiela mobera member me cabinet me UPC o tem loke da dim me weg mi gi gufu nyo leo me wodo kwanyo Jimmy James Michael Akena ko yot ente ko mano timere ame jono wor to wonu ka jo adek ameti office me UPC amobere ngata malungu ni Tabisa Luanga kede Amos amobere accountant jona bom weni te wuot piano chulo gi chiente na tete baspak ni wero binu ruchi UPC pedango tika de UPC pedango ber member bero ka jo amor uchwalo ka ni wor ruchi UPC dogin oto neno to uchwalo jo to mako joni duch to da tero gi ko e buch
da dongo tigini ye
da to beri ye okay eto binu mio gi bail
era chulo da log yo
chulo log yo ko dongo to ko bi kanga toro tia weyo yode yini weyo yod piano penye ni atete ni yini ti weyo yodi te ko batia weyo te UPC dang do ho mara lemte penye kara constitution na do yini beru ruchu pedang yi ho constitution ni yo fi te ko bi constitution enenge aberi do tia tikere ka meruchu yode da constitution no tiu kere kai patio kane ba UPC and me NRM apora me gino numero lungi delegates conference rio inuona hakari chiel po luo ati kot pe neno kanu kot ti wa ti kai me party me opposition ame man pe ber gine ti yiko yote UPC aber and jo more na ti adonyo ho me ke ka jomi yodgi me UPC ati put per lengo tamgi gino me dekanu dan tamgi ni du gino kato kere woteri iPod kere bod lua alo wa hena te me yuko ochok ganu chim ato ka ganu chim achela riome pon ka microphone ti la de ba okay achela riome mier ko lokko Jimmy ay ka ti binu bot Francis te gamu chim te do chim ka to ya of course no me yo dit Nelson karna ko bada do ginora pat kere ngwa entity you know when Honorable Kabanda appeared in a press briefing, seemed to be attacking your wife, who was then working in government, about issues of accountability, and now she was working in government, and both as Minister of Lands and Labor, Gender, Labor and Social Development. She raised issues of accountability, issues of plots acquired fraudulently, how she was manipulating procurement process to get what she wants. We are told after that you made an effort to meet with the PLU leaders. I don't know, however, what reason to meet with PLU leaders, and you were given only one condition: we are meeting but on camera.
I have never met the PLU leaders. I have never sought to meet the PLU leaders.
Do you intend to
I have never sought to be, for what? You see, I'm a politician and I've told you what I'm doing. Where is PLU? PLU is not really part of the political equation. They want to come in by force. So, I have not reached out. When Kabanda spoke, I did a press conference.
You replied?
And I replied part of it. I didn't reply because I didn't want to be dragged into this issue. Akena, Kabanda, you're dragging me down. One, everything Kabanda said was false. He said, Akena said, Mohozi should resign. You can play all of my recording.
You did not say that.
I never said resign. I said it's an embarrassment. I told him to grow up. I told him many things.
And you told him you were born in State House.
Yes, but I never said he should resign. So Kabanda gives a statement, answers it. But all of the statements are wrong. That Akena said this, no. All my statements I stand by. There is no statement which I've withdrawn. Have I withdrawn any statement?
No.
And yes, you follow. I did not say resign. I would say resign if you cannot resist from tweeting. Speaking on issues of foreign policy, there's one issue I didn't mention. I was invited to the Kennedy Center. Under the auspices, there's an organization which is bringing together from the founders of the non-aligned movement and those who benefit from the non-aligned movement to speak at the Kennedy Center. I was invited. This was just about 2 weeks before nomination. I discussed with Obote. Obote said, and this was quite some time before, said, no. This thing of politics and what? 1 week to nomination, I would not go.
Could be that was a trick.
I would not. No, this is an American organization. Yes. But I'm going to speak on issue of non-aligned movement. I was even struggling with that one because the CDF is talking issues of foreign policy on Twitter. Foreign policy attacking even countries who are non-aligned. Like Iran, he says, I don't know what, 1 month will be in Tehran. Iran is a strong member of non-aligned meeting. Non-aligned issue. Now I'm supposed to be there at this meeting, talk about this one. And the CDF of the Republic of Uganda, son of the President of the Republic of Uganda, is making statements which hurt the organization, where the President is supposed to be the chair. You see how difficult that one will be? That's a sort of difficult. Now, if you cannot resist, then resign. If you cannot, then nothing will stop you that you must make these tweets which are touch on foreign policy, touch on issues of justice, touch on issues of process, touch on human rights, touch on everything, and you cannot stop yourself from doing it. Then you separate the issue of office of CDF from the person. Because I said CDF is a national office. It's a national office.
Provided for under UPDF Act.
UPDF Act. And UPDF is provided for under the Constitution. You can change the players, but the office remains. So those are some of the issues which I had a problem with. And in an international stage, when you're outside Uganda, at least for me, I'm always trying to save Uganda. So I should not be going there and hitting Uganda for things which we're doing wrong.
Like your friend Bobby Wine.
Some of the things when it's human rights, it's allowed. If young people's lives are being locked up for no reason, the charges are not whatever, you can make that noise. You can stick on that issue. Because what is being done is not acceptable to you, so you can continue arguing on that one. If they continue, yes, you can make more noise because you have raised it. But to just do it to injure, no. I need to sell Uganda. I need to promote Uganda every chance I get.
Just last two questions. Talk about the accountability aspect of what Kabanda said about your wife. Do you support that your wife should be investigated so that she can be exonerated or prosecuted?
These investigations are never announced. Who is Kabanda in this investigation? Who is he? Is he part of the investigators?
No, he's just giving you, he's a whistleblower.
A whistleblower? Yes. Was he there? No. He said, when he came on that thing, he said he was directed by the chairman of PLU.
Who is the CDF?
Who is the CDF? If CDF came across this knowledge because of his office, what is he doing giving it to somebody who is not part of that office? If I come across dealing with something of importance, investigation, why am I giving it to a third party who is not part of the investigation? To go now to the media. That's not how investigations are done.
Okay.
If you have investigation, you do your process of investigation. But this thing of going on the media, who is Kabanda? If it is IGG will do that. On IGG, what they normally do, they call you and they ask you to give a statement on the particular issue which they're investigating.
And in this case, your wife has never been invited?
Never. And we declare all this time, all these things. So somebody going on the media, if he had information, if he had genuine information, he was not qualified to have that information. Then if he got that information wrongly, he was also not qualified to broadcast that information. How can I now talk about an investigation which maybe CID is doing? As who? CID is investigating Omar Elem for what?
As a citizen.
But where? How do I get access to that information? So if PLU is a leak of government information, then we need to check it. They have no authority to be involved in investigations. If they have their fingers into, and somebody by the name of Kabanda has into the investigations of the Republic of Uganda and is talking on the media, there's a problem.
Do you have a personal problem with Kabanda?
No.
Have you worked with him? Do you know him?
I met him in Parliament.
Is he your friend? Do you have his contact?
Interact. No, I don't have his contact, but I can find it in no time. If I want his contact, I can find it.
Okay.
But there's no interaction. And this whole issue, but for what? I am on more important issues
than Kabanda.
Than what Kabanda is trying to drag me to. I'm trying to bring the conversation on how we're going to help the people of Uganda.
Honorable Jimmy, then we go for commercial break. If I don't ask this one, it has been a common talk in town for quite some time. I'll bring it right from 2001 up to 2026. I know 2001 you were not a leader. in Lira municipality.
2001 as a refugee.
Yes, you were a refugee in Zambia.
Yes.
There are people who has brought the debate of comparing Lira city to Gulu city. When you go to Gulu, the streets are nice, well planned. You come to Lira, it's the opposite. Now, it has been a debate that why they have been blaming local leaders, the planners, you know, the Fiscal Planning Act states that Lira City Council is the planning authority. But also there are people who are saying, wait, Gulu has been electing leaders, while Lira has been electing politicians. In 2001, Mao was a member of parliament. Cecilia Awal was a member of parliament. And according to that conversation, Mao was a leader, Cecilia Awal was a politician. Cecilia was talking about issues of human rights, issues of land, issues of democracy, multipartyism, while for them they were focusing on development. In 2006, while you and those of Mao and other people were focusing on peace talk to bring peace, but also the other part was also looking at positioning themselves to bring development home. And for Akena, yes, it was politics. Akena the politician, then Mao the leader. In 2011, was it Komakech? It was not Komakech. It was not also Mao. There was a member of parliament in Gulu municipality.
Was it not? No, it was...
Not Komakech. Komakech came in 2016.
It was... there was first Pinto. Pinto replaced Mao.
Actually, Pinto. Pinto. And Mao was the chairman. Mao came as the chairman strategically.
But you're laboring too much on this one. I can break it down for you. It's not on the personalities. It's not on the people elected. You look at even the structure of government. Gulu is the center for the north. So all offices, regional offices are based in Gulu. Then if you look at the displacement, all of the support issues around displacement, the center of the war, everything was in Gulu. All the NGOs were based in Gulu. So there's issues which spill from there. Where I respect Lira and what Lango did, Lango grew out of this mess on his own strength.
Without any support coming
production. On the other side, there was a lot of input of resources, and that's why today if you have to rent in Gulu, you will struggle. Somebody wants rent in dollars, wants 6 months because of that NGO issue. Lira grew out of people's effort, the issue, and that's why we're promoting this of growing. But it reached a stage where you're taking minerals out of the ground. Normally, you would have made animal feed, and those minerals get back in the ground. Now, we were failing to, the things were getting stuck here. Even in railways, people are complaining about the smell from the crushed thing. That one is not a member of parliament. That's an executive decision. I can tell you, I can show you the past, the UPC program, what the NRM inherited. There must be a program for stock feed. If you do stock feed, that is where that agricultural waste goes into something else which is produced. So it is all involved. When you try to isolate it on the question of leaders, you go around in circles and Museveni will be there laughing at you. You chase this one, you come back. No, the problem was Omarele. Omarele was the problem. If you get rid of Omarele, things will be okay. You go 5 years, Omarele is not there. No, the problem was Akena. Don't deal with the personality, deal with the issues.
Honorable Jimmy, why am I bringing this? Okay.
It's not politicians. The overall development is it's not the local leader who does the development, it's the government. That is why we have to push issues of the government. That's why we are pushing this issue of the manifesto to challenge the government.
For me, I was coming there. Now, the issue, the government brings development, and we are aware that there are 3 arms of government, and one of it that brings development directly is executive and parliament.
It's executive.
And parliament checks government, but who appropriates?
Yes, but you don't. You saw when the president did agree with our appropriation. He sent back the bill. And he said, you're going to pass it as I sent it. And it did not pass. Did not pass.
Okay, there is something still you want to run away from.
No. You see, the problem which people have, and which is killing MPs, and you're going to finish your MPs, where you make an MP to do the role of government. When government has failed, MP is supposed to come in. When the ambulance service has failed, MP is supposed to do it. When there's no this, MP is supposed to do it. When there's no what the MP is supposed to do it or local government, that is where you're finishing our local leaders and members of parliament. Role of government.
I'm aware. I'm aware you were a member of National Economic Committee.
Yes.
You were once a member of National Economic Committee.
Yes.
I don't know whether once or twice.
Basically 3 terms.
3 terms. And that is where development is.
No.
That is where issues of economy are.
No. You see the name, you're mistaking the name. National economy generally borrows. It's a committee where loans come from. Most of the business is loans.
Thank you.
Most of the business is loans.
Thank you.
The procuring of the loans is not us.
Thank you.
It comes from the government.
Thank you.
If you recall,
yes,
there was this loan which we fought, and then there was this issue of a money lender in Kenya, which they talk about it a lot.
Actually, there was some I wanted to give you credit for being in that committee.
Amarok, I'm the one covered Amarok. That Amarok did not have the ability. I uncovered it, shared it with the committee, we raised it. That time we were doing a joint issue with the National Economy Finance Committee. I raised it, and then government had to pull out of it. But they were using Amarok, which is a money lender which had never lent more than $10 million. To borrow $600 million for the Republic of Uganda. I caught that one. There are others which we could not. There are times they would bring a loan today and they want it on the report tomorrow. The volumes of documents which are supposed to go through, it's physically impossible. And then you're under pressure. Every time the loans were like that. So when you say national economy, it looks at the thing, you're looking at the definition of the thing. The other issue national economy was supposed to do is to give from time to time the indebtedness of Uganda. In this term, which has just ended, not one report. We had the report, we were never given time to present the report. Not once. But loans will come, loan today, tomorrow they wanted to pass. There's even a loan which they brought, they suspended the rules and they passed it. Before, just before the thing term ended, they passed it without any scrutiny. So, where you're saying the problem is not in the economy, it is with the executive. So if you're saying you're fighting corruption, you need to fight it there. And once corruption has entered the system at that level, where whatever you do, Marilyn down here, it's not going to change it up there. You have to fight it up there. That is where we have to push it. And you have to fight it with an alternative, better approach of how you're going to deal with the problem.
Where I was coming from, you have partly answered me. But where I was coming from a point that members of parliament, we need to appreciate that how government works, they bring their annual budget from the National Development Plan. I don't know whether I'm right.
No. They should, but they don't.
But that is according to what is on the paper.
They should, that they don't. You find the National Development Plan and the budgeting are not in line.
So now, who do we blame in this?
They're not in line. You find that the differences.
Who do we blame in this?
You will find that this is a National Development Plan, the president comes with a direction and we're going to go in that direction. What was done, where the preparation and the like. So PDM came from the mind of the president before these others, and they were being brought in to now make it into something.
My simple question is it worth for Ugandans to spend huge amount on money, of money on parliament, and yet parliament is not doing their work? Parliament is not doing its work. Because in this case, you pass the budget, of which you know the procedure is the budget must come from the National Development Plan. And this budget is not aligned to the National Development Plan. And you pass it and you blame the executive. And wait, yet the work of parliament is independent, executive is independent, judiciary is independent, and each is supposed to do its own work, and parliament is leaving its work and give it to executive.
There is no reference of the National Development Plan when it comes to budgeting. You will find it
What is the purpose of national development plan?
Is to give guidance and to give long-term focus.
How do you achieve it? Annual plan. I mean, annual budget.
In the laws.
Yes.
In the laws, it is the executive to supply the budget to Parliament.
Yes. Yes.
There is no NDP there. In the law there. NDP is to guide investment. I've been working on it. On the whole issue of policy. Policy, you look at things 5, 10, 15 years. You give your forecast. Normally the development plan is a 5-year forecast, but it has an underlying 10, 15 year underneath. So you're aligning things in a particular direction over time. To develop my policies, I look at the historical documents. And I start from pre-independence. Under the British, the social plans which are there, the independence government, and what was being able to achieve. Under NRM, there is very little between the planning and execution. To tell the truth, a lot of what happens is what the president decides. If the president wakes up tomorrow and says, I want to do now a village development model, we will find it there. Everybody will be there. Yes, Mr. President, yes. Thank you for your wise leadership. They will all say it. He will do it. If he does a reverse, they will turn around and do the same. We have a president who is larger than life because of the circumstances, which brings a big problem of the transition. If somebody thinks he can step into those shoes and operate as he did, it will not happen. There will be pushback. That is why, for me, I had to be very active and to be able to put in place what will work for the people of Uganda.
Okay.
The overdominance of the president is a problem, but it's also part of our security for now. But there's an issue which I keep on asking. What happens when the president is not there? I've asked this question honestly.
The Constitution provides for the transition.
Exactly. Now the Constitution provides, and the reality is also two things. How you're going to manage it. How you're going to manage expectations. Right now you're having people, as you've been saying, people who imagine that they can think they can decide, okay, in this case Omar Elem should go to jail for 10 years, and he decides there. Not Omar Elem should be tried because of this one. He should be able to get his proper representation, and the judgment should come based on facts. But because I think Omar Elem is the problem, Omar Elem should go to jail for 10 years. I decided. That is not the message I want for Uganda tomorrow. If I made a mistake, you take me through the process. And also, you don't have to take me to a process that if you want to summon Akena, you call Akena, Akena will go. You don't have to grab Akena, put him under the pickup, and throw him there, deny him bail for what? To humiliate him. You see, we are at a transition, whether we like it or not, but how we manage the transition. What we portray about the transition. What the message this PLU is sending is wrong. It should not be accepted, and I will not accept it.
Honorable Jimmy, I wanted to bring the aspect of accountability of your leadership, and you will still not run away. Tell us what you have done for the people of Lira municipality, for the people of Lira city in the last 20 years that you have been in parliament. Give your, wait, this might be your personal or what you have done as government.
No. I can give you engagements throughout, but I cannot do that in 5 minutes. And I don't want to use this program to try and say that I've done this, I've done that, and whatever. Ultimately, I want a Uganda which works. I've been, part of my experience has helped guide me on developing the policy by which I want to be judged. I look at my 20 years in Parliament to help me connect, because a lot of the UPC policies were historical.
Okay.
How would they apply today? How will I apply today? So I have been putting them together, and I want to have that interaction to see whether or not are the ideas valid. But most importantly, Uganda must survive, UPC must survive. So I approach it differently, but you cannot reduce me now and do a 5 minutes accountability. You see, every time I go for election, I have to go for accountability. If you went for re-election, they will judge you. Did you perform what? And what are you going to deal with now? Sometimes it's, what did you introduce? There are struggles which we've had. I'm liking that government now is trying to remove garbage. How much time did I remove garbage from here? Chukatat, we found skips buried under the garbage. Main market before it was built, garbage things were there. I removed those ones at that time. But the problem was, how do we make it sustainable?
But also because you are the UPC mayor.
No, first one I didn't have. I mean, the first one that
was Guduzu.
Guduzu was with Cecilia.
Independent.
UPC independent. At that time we had that division. But we were able to get things. Then after that, Odomo Mara was the UPC.
NRL.
But I worked with all people. Have you had conflicts between Akena and any different people from time to time?
No.
Civil servants, I try to keep peace. I try to keep things. Even when we started with Omina here, we were not on the same page, but we found ways of forging.
But the way you punch Umindi?
I didn't punch him. That one you can explain.
Was party against independent.
Okay.
You see? Okay. Mine is, how do we forge forward? I have struggled not to have conflict. There are times I should have had conflict, but all these 20 years, have you found Akena in conflict with another politician?
Do you intend to bounce back in 2031?
Right now, I have not left the game. As far as I'm concerned, we're on extra time. Final whistle has not yet blown. Final whistle has not yet blown. I have scored now a very big goal on health. What is coming next is going to be education. Then when I finish with the general poverty, I want to see who is still standing on the pitch.
Omarele, your comparison makes no sense at all. Look at the strategic locations and compare. Gulu is a center of North, and what of Lira? Okay.
It's a city.
Another one.
Lira is trade.
Okay. Another one. Good morning, people from Lira. The bad thing is just talk up without action. Now people wanted. Do I understand this?
Now more people wanted to vote for you, but you always disappoint us.
I'm Lawrence Ogoro, watching you live from Kampala. That is for you.
You know, now these people who messed me up and had no interest in standing, they are busy saying, I cannot want to stand, I cannot want to stand.
I'm told you are going to get over 90%. What about Kenya? UP is bigger than Lama and bigger than individual leaders. What bold steps are you prepared to take to strengthen the party nationally? Dickens, former Guild presidential aspirant, Gulu University. Dickens Opoyo. Another one, please. If they're there, let them keep coming so that we can summarize. I can see sports in, as not just one yesterday. And all Kenya should be very, very, very. That one I will not. That one I will not read.
Don't translate it.
No, I will not read. That one I will not read. Okay, that one I will not read. Okay, I'd like to thank Honorable Jimmy James Michael Akena for standing strong at all the time. I request you to always be keen with people close to you because some are traitors. That is Walter. Another one, please. Okay, those are all. Of course, I was talking about sports that Arsenal won. Akena should be very disappointed because they would want to see Arsenal lose. He's a United supporter, while his late father was a very staunch Arsenal supporter. Now you can compare him with his father. For me, I go for his father. He's very good. We are not there yet.
We're differentiating. No, hear me this way. For me, I don't wish Arsenal to lose. I wish Arsenal to do their own game. I wish Man U to win. But I don't have to undermine you. That's how we should do politics. That's how we should do politics. That's how we should do politics. Your team, you make sure your team wins. Forget about the other team. Let them have their own problems. Hey. It's not you to make sure Arsenal loses. Hey.
Okay. Now, special announcement Metekan, Muse Anthony Opio, Mano PLM, Mayor Atorisel Omero Ward, Lira City, Chuala Kwena Pirwenyo, Megidok Erario, Ameo Kwara Idi War, Atin Nichaba Mekotia Chue. Dogman, Kalagien, Mindiang Abron, Tue Pebosho, Attack Mindiang Abron, Metata, Tue Achier Bo, Eka Tumuchele, Omode. Dongokwan Arkena Moneno, Memi Yungech, Bot Oloch, Unyo Ipolishi, a chok Archel Kedi, Unyetimbere Gochimi Namamagi, not a beer deck, a bish a beach, a beer and wen, a chelachiel, not a beer deck, a bish a beach, a beer and wen, a chelachiel, no not a beer aboard and wen, a rio, a beer not, a chel, a bish a chel, not a beer aboard and wen, a rio, a beer not, a chel, a bish a chel. Eka nota biera boro, boro beach ario adek aboro, nota biera boro beach ario adek aboro. Potie pi yina me bino konyo me miyo dok mbagi nuere mano bere museo o PLM ame ochwala kwena ame oya i omiro wote time check do uchen o wote dollar program Akena
The time check on 94.3 QFM is brought to you by
KCB Bank.
It is 11 a.m.
Nuong magoba romo kai gwaho chiente kede KCB Airtel Super Saver Fixed Deposit D star achel abora beach star biro star parachel ash me saving chahare la hariet tumia pira beach na miliona beach pi dwera dek dwera bishel onyo dwera parario eka itenungo magoba atuno pasenti ya bongwen mwaha ketu chiente tie menono Airtel Money instant secure borderless KCB pi jo pi berere KCB Bank Janeno Bergi, Uber Bank of Uganda, get a customer deposits, Jaguaco better deposit protection, Ameramona a million a par.
Thank you so much. For my time, do Chen. Jock Isaac Walter Tekone. Omarelem, Akena achievements might be more than all the political leaders in the whole north. Without peace, no development. It resettled displaced people. It brought economic hopes in the lives of the people. Okay. For my take Isaac Ojok. Unka kena kan pepe yunu beru nukai poti beru nukai poti. Okay. Kako me pe tilo uno herka kena tie tipenyu. I mean penyu pe tipenyu herka.
You want Akena to be squeezed. That is typical Arsenal.
You know, these people, they fear asking you hard questions. Now, immediately I ask you something hard, they'll say propaganda being used, ABCD, and yet Akena, I know, would love to answer tough questions. That is Akena, they mention.
I don't fear tough questions.
Okay. Right, not a beer bichel, abong wanna deck, then I'm a cheap, amount to you, oneno tinman you have done you, Ugino, Ichahagama berry, can Kagam Chima, real day, Eka to do Jen, or then Egamo, or Tibu, which is what Jim Tatum check. Not a beer bichel, abong wanna deck, you can't get it Francis Ogama. Did Francis Kawan call cheap? Okay, Chimo Bilfado.
You're alone, ma'am. Amito or John William Akena. Pineno, Kere, Chan, Watini, one win your Peter program. And the Timal Kunutia would carry. The Amite, Amira, only Angi. Honorable Jim Akena, Chala, may use of Bristol. Kaini very winny, Agana and a very cobo, the Yami propaganda, a mobile telecome. Ekata like a bishop pango, Muri, yes, person to you, Kelecom like Mary. One medici what you need. Let Yella do Laudon Kede, the logo. Medamara, Kede make a traber, Kelepon one. Apologia Company. Hotel me possible you see you can accumulate. I may name Chalabatia. I would do it. Let party man are. But one to know me. You are not Chalo, you may you PC Ametia would. You know what it is, but what it rain.
Okay.
So you need to be getting up a man. They do. When Kate Karamujo, Poken out.
One at a time of Cobonino.
What your company? Jo me you pisi ame ochimugi Santa Umcha Mono peo poco jo and a word piti pijo dushu that the end would be party at a word pijo dushu a meron conjua.
Okay.
And a point.
Hello.
Take one tip.
A point swallow. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
A point when you do it. I better chill now. I'm at your point. I'm doing with this. I'm not
What are you?
Not honorable and party president.
Please go ahead.
I'm not your penny. And to take it again, not money, one very good president. Ya enemy to a political activist. Pienka Neno, Momo, you are not going to tell the president. politicians laying out strategy. I mean, plan B, plan A failing, you will plan B. Can B failing, you will C. Now, achieving plan the goal, the man who is seeking.
I hope Honorable Nelson will be able to translate. The brief question is, do you still have the vision to be the president? You fail in plan A. What is plan B and plan C? Because other leaders, when you fail in plan A, you go for plan B or plan C. Ogamuchima Dek. Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
Man, Lemujuel, what is it?
Muzenga?
Lemujuel.
Lemujuel. Mwendiba? Yo.
Ami yutamani amani kulimo.
What are you doing now?
Oh, atinu wapol pia bera petuere. Eto doe moro ti amedung tiuto ke UPG. Esa me tuali wa tinno keri moha me kinti ke me bang pero mutu ko perri ko mo hagino. Kaji nen tin ka TV ya makuru gi lo ka to ilugi ki obeni. Esa lo ki fatino. Amekin kuli jori la kilwa no ina ma to akome yot pero dinki imatino ke le biara rai. Iwa wanka winyo gine tambe priyeta yeza UPG ubero me UPG ane waru wora petuere.
There are traitors in UPC.
You put a teka me pilingi naka.
Okay, point to part. That one is saying, it seems there are some traitors in UPC and you need to deal with them. But also too, there are people around you that you need to check. Hello?
Hello?
Hey.
This is James calling.
James McCollum.
Currently, Otiun and Ghana Chile local government called Bala. And what is doing still amusing job. In this development plan, like a position, what comment can he give?
Come you go now. Why go to the
Okay, no, got a comment. This is the Balam Beldana Kilometer, Uganda can't tap on you one of them. You know, Kena, Akobo, in your recommendation, and why I mean.
Okay, Balam is the one now helping them in fighting corruption, and the locals are excited. What is your comment about what Balam is doing? Hello?
James,
Atia Bear, looking at.
And when you want to do charge and Karamena Metia,
looking at.
Man, Muse, Daniel, or where it will be.
Or where Daniel?
There you go. James. Omena in a Metia, or another Ferrari, you may hear it better.
Hear it better.
Onuatia, may you come in.
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hey, don't know Chimario. Apoya.
Why, you can Felix Electron.
Felix Electron.
I think party president attack the Jamabesha and a Kobo, the Uganda. Can
what are you doing?
I will be a community members of UPC, and PLU, to join PLU. But I would kind of request the cat to her. Let me you allegations with you. If you're quite quarrying in you, Chelo, Akena, a job, and you join PLU. A mere one thing I did tell you genetic of the chung.
Okay.
Mano kwa chakatu era kwa ifano winyu chumi matai. Apoya.
Okay, apoya matai. Hello?
Hello. Iti uno niyo.
Yotia ba?
Tikere kwa Mario Michael.
Niyo
niyo na Jimmy chungat. Uganda house.
Niyo berna.
Ana beri Charles Momo.
Charles Momo.
Yes. Mena Mario tiene Jimmy. Kanga to temo bal me kudu Uganda house. was Yashua Kobuakori, oh God, Kana Jama Tona. I'm the first time.
Mono Matoni.
Jeremy come don't catch your son, you didn't know. You don't tell me, you don't take a lawyer.
Okay, I what you mean. Okay, monologue in a minute translating. But and president we that there boy even in money. Okay, I don't know. Manu Chima me no gam.
Pieces are just falling.
Okay. Mono better Gikeme Chima me no gam. I may one put product bought a lead president. I did Francis Ogema.
Yes.
I don't president Loho. I will da logo Paul. I go to Uganda House. I go to Bear the UPC. Your quick comment.
Ana better la make it yelake. Better member my UPC Chakuchon, I take the particular the Gama Uganda House, a mayor Buagwa, no better secretary and put the other war per border. I don't know Kiana Bedo, UPC secretary, my parish, my bar poor. Put it here, Miana Kone Bedo Karawa Haye. Look up at the president of the Dutch, Akana Gonilano, and a bit look a lemon, not a Gogan, yet Akana Koboka, Lamotini. Pepper UPC, Pobir Jimmy James Michael Akena. Pepper UPC, Pobir members, my UPC. And to Pepper UPC, Uberu Gamente, I may lure challenge bought position. President Museveni Boro Obote and Paul Liba come 2026 and no opposition pay. So he would try we know tooth and nail, Pangaka on a lacquer, Pishu on a lacquer land. A quana to Pamela Goni, Yami, and Monogina Monocera. Tell take a man and Natoro made one to a cut attack. Where Everybody a director. Yeah, me a bear and a local only master walk. Carrying a feeling, the pipe. Master walk, you know, we never tell you to. And people master walk. Go because to me, my mean God, there Nelson a bad bear. And then a war, man with a kind of a D1 gun for you. Tell you, Chimney call me. Then Nelson the Tojiva and the bear can pay and go out much about a tail now. So, problem I'm a Jimmy here. Jimmy is fighting the state. State does not want Jimmy anywhere near Ginoke Kanamono leadership. Bounty we can get a win.
And Jimmy that you can state.
Teach state, yes, Pian Wannaberry, when you are in Uganda. In Petroleum, Kado Jim make me better teach state and would be his president. Then Boroka Bomba America gave me Bolomitaja. Eto ka inimito yine got to me pengi kan no dilo ka jagwe yo we ine kato o mio be fair grown yo mo dilo ngeti kana ko bo in petro balo akor wishon ini be linesman very referee de be ba ini kero penalty ni te gwe kero penalty ko to wishon re ate gwe mato ai yo taba pa chengi giname yimi ti ata mo kobo ama be challenge ka na rem ana hareko ke dung mo hapiara men pero no national delegates conference on ko ame president Museveni na chi muni ko judicial service commission yes now chi majoye
eto delegate conference NRM on the
aware
obedo kololo
aware
do you remember before the election that was delegate conference kuna moto yero ke do bo the vice chair and other leaders.
No, Mohadi.
That was in 2025, I think.
Yes.
Before that? Before that?
There was also another conference in Obote.
They didn't hold 2020.
Because of COVID.
But we did.
You did, yes.
Yes, they didn't hold 2020.
And I appreciated you for that.
So, Kevin, me and another company. Kai Megigi, very bad, no? My UPC very bad. Once UPC is doing something, it is wrong. But once NRM is not following, okay, NRM, I was here with Jacob. Get you what they call a guideline. They don't follow any law. That's why President Museveni would wake up today and say, tomorrow you are immunity. During the post-colonial governments, I'm not a generic donor. A man and a sat there being cleaning, general cleaning. Now you're copying something and I return UPC ticket. You're just trying to copy today to show it is yours. And that is the purpose of history. Who talks about history, how Obote became a president? Is it there now? Is there any question you read Ameti Ware Hodoni Civic Education, which talks about
but was it worth? Maybe
so we should know the past where we're coming from. We only know the future, where somebody dreams and say, I'm the only visionary person. No, that's wrong, Marilyn. Even me, I've ever mentioned here, I still have the ambitions of becoming a president of Uganda at one time. So
there's this potential threat, Honorable Jimmy. He has been talking about it on UPC ticket.
No problem.
So you challenge him. So you challenge him.
What I'm saying, yes. But I'll give him time. If he doesn't come in 2031, I can vote for myself. And then people will vote. It's not a matter name. When we go for politics, you don't go for politics to have a win, but you go for politics to change certain things, and that's what Jim is trying to fight for. The policy the NRM is bringing to people is the wrong one.
What a one. Give it that way, pay him enough. Was a member of the city council as a councillor. What did he do with the structural plan of Lagos City? As he was very well impressed with how good is better plan than leader.
I'm not going to take a lead, but you know. So I will really read it. Yes, I will read you. In a nutshell, what Honorable Jimmy is trying to portray here is the challenges he's going through. He cannot bring any better policy, and it's embraced by this government, because this is a government that does not want alternative views. They want the views to come from them and from one person who is the president. And now when you do it like that, it makes the parliament, I've ever said here that the government has made the parliament now rubber stamp just to endorse things. If you bring a budget and the president says don't change anything in it, then what are you doing there?
I'm Obote Dickens watching from Kanaisa County. What practical policies does UPC propose for to address unemployment and create economic opportunities for Ugandans youth? Okay.
So, Giname Jot Yakobo, Atadero, Tianeno, Pay Nenka, the struggle to be on the gym alone. The struggle should be me, you, and I in trying to address issues concerning job. Regardless whether it's coming from UPC, whether it's coming from NUP, Pemiro Betana Yabot NRM Akena. Amando me Otena Manual war ngeni government Uganda Jahere wana President Museveni. Otena teacher and the Mumo Hapira Beck, come Caribbean Manda Neo Kane NRM and a TA. NRM. Oh, yeah, okay, now. Why don't you allow them to read the history books? Why don't you allow the history to come to them to show them me? NRM Yakana. President Museveni, Kono was searching Tungi at a bear, putting in the party card of UPC. But Jimmy, as President Museveni ever returned the party card of UPC? No,
but was he of UPC?
Yes. You even worked in the government. Even working
with the government does not mean you're a member.
He was a member.
Oh, so you've answered your question.
Working with government.
You have answered your question. You have answered it. Don't change again. You raised the issue about working with government. So you said working with government does not make you part of the government.
So that's what I'm saying.
Now you are running away.
So, we need you. On TV. Yes, but it should be something that touches you if you are a citizen. Once you're really a citizen and you feel something is vital for you, please stand up and speak for it. Okay. Then basement. Of course, yes.
For me,
but there are days for everything.
In my social discussion, I've told people the only Lao man or the only Lao person cannot be arrested by Muzi. It's all Akena. The rest of us can be arrested anytime.
Yes. Arresting wa many volume wa kom jono. Kile kwa nyu volume wa kom na. Geneti yana tanya malen. Me kodan nyu makodan many volume wa. If I positively critique you, this thing is wrong, must you eliminate me in order for you to bring that change, or must you work with me to foster that change?
But for him, he has been arresting those with issues.
But what issues are those?
They're bad now, they're before the court.
A war open your police court. Down and the colony disappeared, that they couldn't pay Boru, we immediately him applying for a ticket and make it look at land. Kadako police, won't got a gun, you go one from your army. Would I tell the court, how do you start preferring a child? You not a complaint and pay, kes duch mito mar lem ko ne ogema wuoro kwaro gari studio wuoro kede eti impe wuoro ko ni ken ma ogema ko nyo ogema ruwenyo ko adi de bondo mar to ko ogema no kwaro gari ki nga ko bine kwaro gari ki no is Q complaining ni kwaro gari mere is Q complaining ni kwaro gari yini penya ka ni o lono che lo kabana tie ko ni investigate better mo mi jo office ata pete complaining eto ka band na te complaining in which way was acts a better money you office ata otim affecting ka band kede so in pay me ko ba yire binu ka la ta ko I don't know about
I did Francis.
Yes,
several times and I need to get a chair. One of you could attack true very mood the party and the corruption coalition.
Yes,
attack and it looking Dutch gina chela ngeni gini dago belukuo
na wo
chama idago
komna hapo bueno kakanu anawada na tini ko da ne ko tele ne hiya
lengo ngomi ka tu ni meri peye ni kwed
no pa ko ni po kwed yo amega meto mi tigi kwed tigi na beach loni CID loni CID loni IGG loni state out at corruption mo now kabanda do habe ni mena jona ngendo failing to ko na tori ye pian na duom musebe da ko ne yeme ni no ko na na mate do ko ni no more sleeping ame lemon tani you was sleeping yesterday so tomorrow there is no more sleeping
but now it's awake.
That's what I'm saying. So that makes the likes of Kabanda would speak. Piano man Kabanda look tani ana koni.
The whistleblowers.
Whistleblower word ko ba IGG ni anero gini. Anero ga ngi ba ga ngwera wen. Nyobe ba ga wen no kere de. Whistleblower mi ruo ko bi kitete pe yak ko ana mara biro.
Tiena dia mo ga when you making allegation ikom jo amaka kere jama chan irready. You ask you.
Me ask me. Tiena di I've never made one.
Do I need to remind you?
I've never made one.
Me, I can make one now if you want.
Okay, please. Okay, do.
You want to make my own on corruption?
Make the allegation.
I'll make the allegation here. I'm first taking you to the budget speech in 1987. 1987 budget speech read by Christos Kionga, who is now back in Parliament. You can read also here. Mr. Chairman, the government is quickly taking steps to build on these positive developments. In the area of transport, a number of trucks, pickups, and buses have already been imported, and many more are on order. Funds to finance reconstruction of the main trunk roads have already been secured. These roads include, then it starts number 1, Kampala-Mitiana, which they're working on again now. Mitiana-Fort Portal is also again now. They go through this, and now look at number 12. Maybe you read for me. My eyes may not be.
Masindi, Apache, Lira, Kidgum.
Okay.
When was that?
This 1987. Funds were secured for this road.
In
1987. 1987.
Today
is the road tarmac. Is it tarmac? Christos Kionga is now in Parliament. You ask him where the road go. Who ate it?
Now I want to agree with you.
I can
coming from our argument, I want to agree with you that a citizen can raise concern where matters of corruptions are involved. So it was not wrong for Kabanda to make allegations against Betty Moe. That's what I was telling you. What I'm saying is,
for me here, if he made it as Kabanda, it has come to my knowledge that Betty Moe has done this one.
Yes.
Free.
Do we?
No, wait. Where do you make it?
To those authorities that make
If I am reporting Omar Elem for corruption, I go to police or I go to IGG or whatever.
And give that.
I don't come to QFM and say Omar Elem is corrupt.
We are going to investigate you tomorrow.
I had because I was directed, he comes and he says, Jimmy Akena, president of UPC, said that he should come for you because you are very much a problem to people. Now he should be arrested for corruption.
You should have come. Lastly, because now sports.
Lastly, there's this talk of PLU. And that one chick and another chick. PLU much as a bit of pressure group. But a bit of pressure group or me and tia hiding. And you odonye me womb one law by guinea no government for him. The Encana man one a critiquing government. Gain don't your quality for front. Man, you cannot see the government behind. They are here on the front line. Manorame Kaja way do look out of freaky Kuluna, Jamara, Jamon, going to bluff it. The war. Actually, ELU is acting now like the war.
Actually, Emmanuel clearly told us here that because NRM was not doing enough, because NRM was not being accountable, because NRM was sleeping on service delivery, that is why they formed that pressure group to put NRM on pressure and on spotlight.
And now NRM has succumbed to it. Now they are, instead of handling issues of which NRM was not doing, they are handling the issues of UPC. So I don't know whether UPC are the ones who are sleeping in leadership.
No, they are not handling the issue of UPC.
They are handling
they are handling issues of NRM. Let me remind you.
Who is a ghost to
let me remind you, Adit Francis Obama. Is Anita Mong UPC?
No.
It's NRM, right? Those of Chris Obote who are working in the in Parliament, are they not supposed to be accountable?
Yes, they're supposed to be accountable.
Now, why is it that when it comes to a member of UPC who was serving in cabinet, you don't want people to talk about it?
Nobody should talk about it.
I
can even stand now and say, please, IGG, tomorrow go and investigate for us better and bring. If somebody has whistle blown to you, it is. Okay. But let that name, the other MP not come and say Kabanda. That my chairperson has told me. So if my party president tells me also to tell the listeners that no, what do we say?
I don't know whether Yere wants to ask. Clearly want to ask this. The party president because I did. Unity don't bother coming with Yamaba. Unity with Yam. Hello.
Yes, hello.
It is we Yam coming here from can we take a minute. There you are, Michael.
Mota Jim Akena, Yayomi one located to Manchester United list.
Irate will man you.
Orate man you that to share for a shilling.
But
we discuss with the other. Allow me to make a small rejoinder to me now game and he pay a Benjamin. Nick out to the making you only. And I think for me the biggest problem in Uganda probably policy issues, and Jimmy is trying to maybe put it. One country policy, the best policies, but the issue has been implementation. Like right now we have Balam is moving around, to say corruption should stop, and the rest. But then we are saying some MPs, hey, you need to do it in what way? They are bringing along, yet MPs themselves, they were supposed to do oversight. That is their constitutional mandate. Passing laws, doing oversight on government, and the rest. But now they have not been doing it. Then some groups have woken up and they're like, no, we need to check the system. The system has not been working. And for us, that is where PLU emerged. Because there was no hope in both opposition and even the ruling government. They were all eating actually. And then I want to just make another quick response on the issues in UPC. I think for us in PLU, we have no intention make it to our own to be the UPC president. Their confusion started very early. I'm happy Jimmy has considered some, the two of them picked nomination, and I'm happy also that Adim is not a stranger. He has been his right-hand man. No. That when they took over the office in 2015, when they stormed Uganda House, Adim was one of his lieutenants. Then I think Tom Omin, who is now the Secretary General to Adim, was also one of his lieutenants. So,
but now Jim Okwaronia didn't know for the right-hand man.
No, he has been there. I have been seeing even some of his members admitting that he paid tuition for Adim, and of course Adim Okwara, but Adim was his driver. That one is not a public among, at least, and he has never also disputed that Adim is not a member of UPC. So, but for me, what more concerning and historically, UPC has been in confusion from the 60s. You saw the confusion that made UPC to be overthrown by their chief of their CDF in in 1971. You saw the same confusion. UPC was again overthrown in 85 by their own lieutenant. At that time. So me, I'm praying that confusion, Jimmy should reflect on it and bring that.
Jimmy has a question for you.
I want you to study the book of Job, and when you understand that bad things happen to good people. It happens. You read the book of Job. No, you read the book of Job. Job was right in the eyes of God. He did everything right, but bad things happened. People died. He went through a lot of issues. Bad things happen to good people. And people who, the one who you're not going to steal from, the mafia, the worst people who handle, kill people, whatever, those are the ones you don't steal from. So please, put things in context.
No. Lastly from me, why is it that PLU and NRM are interested into UPC affairs? Why don't you leave UPC alone to sort out that issue?
Actually, like as you said, in 2015, when Jimmy had issues with Olaro Tuna, Jimmy admitted that, and actually that was the time when he recommended, he said he gave his wife as a sign of trust. When he stormed Uganda House, wasn't government on his side? Because he was the right person for the job, and government backed him, because the government could not allow the other group to suppress him. Like now he's saying, I love him for one thing. Jimmy is a very smart politician. He's actually a politician. He's saying court is bad, but he's sticking to one of the court ruling that the court of appeal said that the first term was not part of it, but he said.
You see, wait. You see, this is the problem with PLU. You put words. When did I say court is bad? You see, you cannot create your own reality and then try to change things. I will speak for UPC. You speak for PLU. Leave UPC out of your mouth, and please don't get involved. Recently, you hear me. Recently, I posted this my health policy on this forum where you are. You started criticizing it. It could be AI. It could be whatever. Now you've gone quiet. Tackle the policy, please. Tackle the policy. I have always been bringing. You stop bringing this thing that you think you're doing things. All of this nonsense. Anyway, we'll finish with him. I will finish the program.
Okay.
Let me finish, Mr. Omarle. The fundamental issue, and then we should not run away from where the chaos of UPC started, especially when Jimmy entered. When he entered and he removed Olaro Tunu, he was with the demand the rest. And I think it is him who brought the two-term limits in UPC. And for me, I think the most decent thing that Jimmy would have done, and I still want to encourage him to do, was to amend his constitution and remove the term limits. I would see how other parties would to interfere.
The very last question, Mr. Yiro, the very last question from me. According to you and PLU, who is the president of UPC?
But of course, why don't you following the law? Court has told Jimmy very well that is not. That's why he was stopped. And me, he's saying that it's Museveni who stopped him, but it was the court, the High Court.
No, the question is, the question is, between Jimmy and Adim, who is the president of UPC? According to you and PLU.
According to the UPC constitution, Adim is the right man. Only that he did not finish the process.
In favor of UPC.
But he's the right man. He was unopposed. He was unopposed, and the UPC Electoral Commission wrote Uganda Electoral Commission recommending Adim as unopposed. But what I know, Jimmy later fired two of them. Those are now they are confusion.
Okay, thank you so much. Adit Emmanuel Oire. And for that, let me summarize with Honorable Jimmy James Michael Akena. Today you are...
Before you go there, how do we go through this thing and then you now want to bring confusion at the end? Why?
Because for him he wanted to speak as a caller.
As a caller? Then I go through the back door and you give him the audience. No. You see, you some of these things, let us handle them systematically. I brought this thing, a big issue of a road.
Yeah.
A road. From Masindi, where they now call Rekunye, it was started from Masindi to Kitgum.
In 1987.
In 1987. There's also a bridge. I'm quoting the budget. You brought the issue about budget. I'm quoting the budget. The person who read the budget is now back in Parliament. So is he second or first?
Younger.
First or second deputy prime minister?
I think first deputy prime minister. But
first or second. He's somewhere there. He's back in the house. They're more interested in, UPC, I don't know this, enough, right? And if I move with somebody, do I owe them everything? How many people have I raised? How many people have I campaigned for? I've campaigned for candidates.
Oh, yes.
Left, right, and center. Now, this candidate now starts going and saying, and they also think, does that become my problem? And this issue, I met the president. Why did I meet the president on this issue of my nomination? Was Obote there? Was PLU there?
Has he ever met the president?
No. So why are you entering things you don't understand or you don't have an interest? The issue which we're dealing with, where is UPC? He says he doesn't believe in policy. And then he's saying this wonderful thing about Balaam.
Somebody wrote through the message.
He also mentioned it. Balaam, they're saying that happened with Balaam. Balaam is playing to the audience on corruption. The will to fight corruption has not yet been seen. The statements towards fighting corruption is being done. Balaam is moving around. But also there's due process, which I support members of parliament. I do not accept that Omar Elem on an accusation, which may be unfounded, should be dragged and humiliated in public. Yet Omar Elem is a responsible person. There are people who respect Omar Elem. Omar Elem has children. You don't mistreat him like that. If you have a case, and normally in the question of governance and whatever, you are summoned with the issues to report on.
Yes.
Omar Elem, as councillor for Lira City, you are responsible for this loss and whatever. You will come there and you're allowed to come yourself. You're allowed to come with representation and you make your presentation. Like for us, IGG, they will call you to IGG on this issue. I was called to IGG once. The issue which took me to IGG, I traveled to Botswana, but I lost my boarding pass. So when I submitted accountability, they said boarding pass is not there. So they summoned me with a clear issue of what they wanted me for. So since I didn't have the boarding pass, I brought my passport and I brought the proceedings because it was an IPU proceeding in Botswana. I brought the proceeding, the handset was there, where Akena spoke on this day on this subject to prove that I was in Botswana.
To prove that you attended.
I attended. Now, the way these people are doing it, Akena did not travel, immediately pick up his hair, put him in with the cameras.
They even tell you face the camera.
Then, now, tomorrow when government is sued, and there are people who are going to sue government because they are standing orders on how you proceed.
True.
How you interdict, how you go through these processes. They are procedures. You don't just, because you have this thing and you think you're there, you can just run roughshod and do what you want. There's law. That's the issue of rule of law. Omar Elem is innocent until proven guilty. So when you turn this upside down, you're not helping Uganda. You're just playing to the gallery, but the real substance of how to solve things is not being done. Brought this issue of corruption, accusation, allegation against against Betty. But there's a case which was going on Mabati. There is a minister, former minister in Luzira.
Agnes Nadutu.
Yes. How many ministers were on that Mabati list?
So many.
How many returned or did whatever on that same Mabati list?
Including Minister of Finance.
Exactly. Now, if the rule is you stole, you are arrested, you go to jail, all those should go through the same thing of Nandutu.
Correct.
You don't pick one and say this one goes to jail, this one, you get promoted. If it is wrong to take a government thing, put it in your thing, it is wrong for everybody.
Simple.
From the president to the lowest. So if you're having selective prosecution, can you really say you're fighting corruption?
No.
No. You can't say you're fighting corruption. If you're fighting corruption, you must be blind. If it's corruption, I don't care whether it's my brother, my wife, my daughter, my son. Corruption is corruption. I have said it. Corruption is like cancer. When it enters, if you don't deal with it, it will keep growing, it will expand. And to remove cancer, sometimes you have to do difficult things. They sometimes remove body parts.
Yeah.
If you have cancer, the iron is going to, they'll remove the eye. So better to lose the eye and keep
the body.
Yes. Even if it's the hand, remove the hand and keep
the rest of the body alive.
Where we are, cancer has entered the whole system. If it is up to finance, what decision Mabati and whatever.
I'm told.
How do you deal with it?
I'm told in the.
So if you're saying you want to fight corruption
in Parliament,
you show me first.
In 11th Parliament, I will not quote this person, but clearly told me that Committee of Finance and Committee of Budget. I don't know whether you are part of the Finance or Budget. That Committee of Finance and Budget in Parliament were the most corrupt committee in Parliament.
No. There were deals, but I won't say the most corrupt. But even for the deals to work, there is issue of connivance. And some of this issue may be part of the reason, and this is speculation. And I do not want to be quoted and saying that Akena said this one, right, to be used against me. Part of this one can be what has affected Anita. Because these committees deal with particular issues. Now, there are issues of departments, ministries pursuing their budget. You get problems in a committee, so you find ways to get around the committee. When the president mentioned this issue about corruption in Parliament, the first issue, the first issue which I raised is that a backbencher has no opportunity to be corrupt. You don't control any finances and the like. You are in council. What council are you controlling?
Nothing. Nothing.
If finances get lost, who do they go for? Do they go for you or they go for?
Accounting officer.
Accounting officer. So, that sort of thing. But I said the only thing which the president can be talking about is the committee chairs with the establishment of
Speaker.
Yes. So issue of budgets and what money and what, of course, there were things which are going on there. But now we have stopped there. There are things which those of us who are in Parliament know what's happening, but what have you done? Other than trimming the wings, you have not really
tackled the whole issue.
The corruption issue. Because of Obote and these other people, those are collateral.
But now they have also removed Anita.
Yeah, that's what she was going to go because of many reasons. The proof of the pudding is in the eating.
Celebrated.
Why do I celebrate? I've told you, my issue is not about people. I'll celebrate when the people of Uganda have opportunity. I'll celebrate when the people of Uganda have opportunity. I'll celebrate when the schools are working, when the hospitals are working, when the roads are working. When I can live my own life comfortably. Just the other day, Dr. Eunice moved a motion in Parliament on cotton.
Yeah, to bring back spinning mill.
Spinning mill. Then there's a story which came in the Monitor that there's a new factory, they're spending $40 million, they're going to use 30,000 bales, which represents about a third of Uganda's production today. I went into my history. 1969, the peak of cotton production, 469,000 bales. Who was in government then?
In 1969.
Milton
Obote.
UPC. 469,000 bales, 1969. Textiles industry in 1972-73 year consumed 400,000 bales. Uganda textile manufacturers, 400,000 bales. More than 10 times what they're hoping for this new factory. Now when you break it down, who was growing that cotton?
Ordinary citizen.
What were they getting for it?
They were getting, of course, money and paying fees.
Who was now processing the next level? The generaries.
Government.
They were cooperatives, government, private. They were processing. The seed was going for crushing. Oil seed, animal feed. Spinning, weaving, until the textile. How many thousands or millions of people have lost from that time to date, when now we're talking about a factory to open for 30,000 bales? You see, when we talk about loss and whatever, you must put it in context. We talk about the cattle. This money which are doing, paying this issue, has it solved the problem?
It is creating more.
The reality which I've done my research is, we have a want, or we want money, but we need milk. For the survival of our community, we need milk in the villages where the children are growing. If we don't get the milk there, we're going to kill the next generation. We're going to fulfill the next generation. But where's the compensation?
That is fun.
It's being stolen. I'm just touching on issues where these people talk about
corruption in compensation is huge.
It's huge, but
I've also lost trust in these people they call security. The Gisus. I've lost my trust in you. I'm being honest because now I know what takes place.
Yes, but you see, that's the tip of the iceberg. Because if we don't address the milk in the villages, as a community, we are doomed. Not 2 generations we will be doomed, but unless we address it. And we just get this lip service, oh no, we're doing it, oh no, what? The critics of cotton. If I tabulate, and I'm going to tabulate for people, when I work especially on that issue of, and the young man was asking what is there for the young people, on the issue of development, I'm going to expand on this issue. I'll calculate the loss of production. Put also the production according to per capita. If we could produce 469,000 bales with a population of 10 million, if you produce at the same
population,
yes, it should be
40 million.
It's almost 50 now. So we should produce 5 times as much. So we should be talking about not 400,000 whatever. We'll be talking about 2.5 million bales grown, processed. Income is there. Every stage of why cotton was one of the issues which governments, especially in those days, looked at, because cotton has several stages of development.
And now.
So you have the growing, the picking, the ginning, all of these things. There's a lot of value addition every step.
Our people have lost interest in cotton. Now they are into coffee because government is giving free seedlings.
Now you have to do the preparation, the collection. A lot of things are not there. So you chase somebody on the wild goose chase on something, but then you have not thought about how they're going to deal with it there.
We would also want to know where the NRM get the money. Where NRM get the money they gave to all the MPs who attended the retreat in Jamkwanzi. Not only the NRM MPs got this money.
No, but if you want to see of NRM, don't stop about the ones of Jamkwanzi. All this money for the villages, for the sub-county, for the candidates, there should be accountability. Where did it come from? If it came from somebody's pocket, let it be declared. We are supposed to declare our source of income. But the money which NRM spent is not declared. If you want to deal this issue of corruption, let's go there also.
There is an offer for you. You first read that one. You read that one yourself. You read. Omara?
That bit, the last one I'm trying to
you first read all. First try to read that one.
Omara, tell Akena. I'm translating. Tell Akena, I want to ask in Leblanc.
Want to train him in language.
Teach. You want to teach me? Okay, so
can you read that one?
Yeah, I can read.
You read in Leblanc.
I can read.
You read much. Read that. You read that. You read the way it is. We are going to bet.
I can read Leblanc.
You read this one. You read this one.
Omara kobi Akena ni ametoponye kede Leblanc. Chulpe abedo adwong.
Meaning?
This is for me, it's getting a contradiction. No payment, or it will not a lot.
Not a lot. Not a lot.
Yes.
And now you have tried.
I can understand. I can listen. I can whatever, but I think in English.
For 1 minute we will be speaking in Leblanc, but then we go to Chair Nelson. Pedong we go Pogon. Akwa idong we Pogon because of time. Eto na nena paberu me kwa akwa kisha nen paberu ke gumme mi ko bugino. Polo wo borlu ke mo yam ke return mi ama ke ko mi UPC ni. Chara ba won ko mo yam tamira on lo ke lo ke mo yam ke dan kan gino te mi mi me ko me UPC ni. Yine me we bando do ko Leblanc kan. Tell ya ko. By the way, we are going to dance today. I don't want Jimmy to be sad all the time thinking about Uganda with his air every day. The next time you come back, you will come with, I don't know. Okay.
Opoyo matek loa kametia winyo wao Karachel kede party president me UPC ametikan umina Mr. Ogamawan kede crew ameti handling Roma TV kede QFM yire tuolo loak tamma me anatia katu kede tieni UPC potie dan UPC pebino to pien UPC enokelo lodge ken me Uganda kaunu UPC pe okelo lodge ken Uganda ngato ke ken nu romo neko ento ba tia pidu pien UPC okwanye jo lodge mono through atel America na Dr. Apollo Milton Obote do amito ko bilwa kati ohni obedu na chunywa tek pingaruni ruwa papat ngato pe bedi luoro bedu ni chunya tek jo ametia timer ni chani obere chagi miro kongo dwa wangi ping chieno to neno kitari jo amin obedo kede ko jo kena tia timere chani pol go bedo bulli po ngeo ngare ko timere wa amin eni neno wan tiu lingi tini o tiu ngeo ni pinya runi ru papa dan kai tera woti tera ber kuni ngeo ni dihi arua pa do wana tamoni wana mede wunu kede lego kede ketu lodge me Uganda chingo ba entu gina wana kwa ya tek omito kwa ya jo ameti chunye wonu jo kede neko jo ni pater wabor lobni jo beriye bor dan jo pura mede beriye bor peta mido gihu ko tinini dihida henungo jo chua pat dan ka jo chua pat yinpe beriya kina jo awang jo adago woti jo karachiel omi jo marwa do adi chunyu jo me party me UPC ni wan ko mutie aduong wa hotel wa yo wan iruti wuopo yore etino wada pura mede wuopo yore party president wa Jimmy James Michael Akena lwa eno kergeni kome jo ametia koboni o adime nafriko yero petia ngeyo kitachike UPC bedo kede nyoni nominating ni ochoye eno tero ka chiente merete chulo mono first step na mario party me UPC koda wori od jo kado titidi district conference district period we are when kado titidi ati Jimmy James Michael Akena borre oro jo ameto chwake district period bichiel we are biro enti me adime napo wor kwene apati tero ka million rio adon roko buwor ano pos yoto wora manu kati kitu bui kwir bu kano keneti UPC po bu kwir the one put to mo Jimmy James Michael Akena ana bere chiama na UPC yam awor ma wana bere I pasol mo bere media mengo me medo tama kena bor dong do luongo delegate conference wana to dog word moko chikanyien ama mi yekare metel UPC pejo mori ho chimi wa president wan mi president amera hotel Uganda atikere tamo check bala tama kena bor kake ladim ameriko bedo driver nyu amerika no chole kwan ter would me tikano kene romi yara DC mogo katwere and the bedo party president me UPC apoyo jo amawinyo.
That was a strong one and a tough one from chairman uyamdan nyowo konkalo po ngolo kengo ngolo won kom ni ngolo me yini mitu kampala ti ko be be yam tigiyo e nyon mo batik ping. So honorable Jimmy, we are concluding a lab now for about 1 minute. We will do a very small interview lab now. Itieni ngo
tiebe
atam ni ka num tami bori ama har kala chel kele kitame kok metwera dano yotia kok ni kok metwera dano tia toro ilo Uganda uni UPC neno ni
human rights. That one I can't answer in level.
But you understood that
issues of human rights. We have to value each other. The ideal position is if you value the fellow man you meet is created in the image of who?
God.
So you must treat or recognize that image in the person you meet. How you interact with them, you must recognize that aspect in them. when you try to mistreat somebody and belittle them, in fact, normally when you do such things, you have to belittle them first. You have to diminish them, dehumanize them, make them less than what they are in order to be able to do that sort of thing. But all of us are Ugandans. There's no other country apart from Uganda which we have. So we have to find ways of how to treat each other with respect and respect each other's opinions and whatever.
See how we can
even if I disagree with PLU, they should be allowed to say what they want to say. They should be allowed to do what they want to do without interfering in my rights. So that's the issue where we have to find balance. End of the day, we have to live in Uganda.
Okay, lastly, Olara Otunu is trying to hold our flag high in trying to be the Secretary General for United Nations. Aware that you have worked with him, you invited him, actually you struggled to make sure that he should come back to Uganda and also try to help you build a party. You contested with him, you lost, but you still work together. But also at some point you are disagreement with him, and now he's contesting to be the NRA, I mean not NRA but UN Secretary General. What is your take on that?
I made a statement to that effect.
Yes,
I made a statement to that effect on competence, on experience. He has it. Why he was brought into the race late creates its own dynamics. And of course, there are other factors which come into bear. But I would support a Ugandan taking a high office always. It is selling our country, where we have people who can be able to bring out Uganda or bring interest in Uganda. Holding important offices, it helps Uganda. So we should be able to field our best. In all circumstances. So, but this is not something which we can campaign for individually.
No.
It is something which has its own process. They are handling, so we are monitoring as best we can.
Okay. So, copy me agiki elebla.
Kabut kore nyim kobra.
Copy me agiki.
Elebla.
Elebla. I need to copy me yo. Iwot Kitgu. In 2020, abedo kede Jacob Olanya, kede Joa Paul, kede Duong Lobo. We commissioned. Was commissioned. We commissioned.
Yabu yo.
Yabupur. Yimeyo. 2020. Mani mom. 2026.
Mahabichello.
Yo. Peotum. The same yo.
1987.
87.
Pierre Bob.
Okay, we buy that.
So, man, corruption, man, sleep,
Nino,
sleep,
Nino,
dog pay, yo pay, yacht pay, chente pay,
Kwan pebe,
Kwan rach. So,
cameraman, I want to blame something. You know this, I want to blame. I want to blame Honorable Nelson for always translating you, and that is why you are not learning. Because Honorable Nelson is always available to do the translation. So, okay, what is your best sports?
Well, in motorsport.
Okay.
I actually should be in Namibia riding Team Uganda. I've ridden twice for Team Uganda. It's a very different issue when you go there with your jersey, national team jersey, and the anthem is played. It reflects differently. You feel, and now I'm taking these kids, I'm leading these kids to
Do you remember the last time you did this sign? This sign here?
I did that one when we ride, we do it.
Which sign?
The thumbs up is a sign. It's a sign which shows everything is okay.
You do it.
Now, when I'm riding with my colleagues and we're communicating to each other where we cannot speak, you use sign language. So if I'm telling you my fuel is okay, I'll touch the tank and I'll give you a signal.
You do
it's
what?
Okay.
You do what? You do what?
If it's empty, I'll be doing this one.
But if it is full, if it is full, what do you do?
I'm not going to go there. No. You ask people.
There is a story I want you to tell this.
When you're greeting people, when you see people greeting and waving at people, what do they do?
Yes.
Everybody is doing this one.
But when the field is full,
you're not going there.
There's a story. There's a story I want you to be honest and tell people. When you were in Nairobi, you told me some story about mob justice. Why do I want to say this? Why do I want you to tell people your own story? Because there are so many people that are being killed innocently. Others are killed because of, yes, they have done ABCD. But there is that particular story that happened on you and you almost lost Jim Akena. Can you tell them? You almost lost Jim Akena.
It was back to school. I had taken my young brother for back to school shopping. So they're busy measuring for uniforms and what, and I was bored. In those days I used to smoke. So I walked out to the shop to go into the car to smoke. I got the key, I opened the car, I entered, I lit the cigarette, I was smoking. Then at some point I started seeing things in the car which did not make sense. There was something on the mirror. It was not there. Until I realized I'd entered the wrong car. It was a white Corolla DX. They were very common at that time, station wagon. There were two parks next to each other. So when I came out of the shop, I went to the first one. The one which I came in was the one next. I even remember the number plate, KWY 140. In Kenya that time, if you are found, car thief, you are dead. Even they'll bring a tire, they'll bring petrol before you know it.
They burn you off.
And you have no time to explain. So if they found me in this car with the key which is already you can go in the ignition and can put on the radio, you are not going to say I'm not a thief. And it was an innocent mistake. The point I make on this issue where I keep relating this thing is, don't jump into something and issue mob justice or whatever when you don't have the facts. You can end up killing an innocent person like that Sydney rugby player. He was killed for nothing. There's a lawyer who was killed for nothing.
How did you survive that one?
When I realized, I jumped off the car and went back to the shop. Before the owner came and before people realized. I went back to the shop and I could see the two cars next to each other. Identical cars. But the problem was the key worked.
Okay.
I put the key in it, the door opened. I sat in and it worked.
Mono wana biro nani social media wa me kunyi yina me ichao kene chi mire kwanye gwen yuyu. Pia no penye na yuyu gwen ko no ka te mabalo nyu pote mabalo. Kene da ka te mabalo we kore na meten no ti come. You are always very serious. Today you will dance for us. You are always serious. In Uganda's Flow 6, splitting fire. Issues of health, education, blah blah. Which song do you love so much? I guess it should be a South African song. Reggae. Being you are known to be a Rastafarian.
I was never a Rastafarian.
But
I had the hair. I was a Nazarite.
So which song do you love?
A Nazarite.
When you are driving to Kampala.
The most famous Nazarite is I listen to all. Most famous Nazarite is Samson with the hair. But I was not a Rastafarian.
Okay.
I need to explain this one.
You explain. Brazilian okay.
Tafari was the name of Haile Selassie before he became the emperor. Ras is the prince. It's a title for prince. So it was Prince Tafari. And Marcus Garvey, who was one of the leaders in America for the blacks who were trying to get freedom and return to the homeland, kept on prophesying that there will be from a country in Africa which was not colonized, and so this people focused on Ethiopia. One country was not colonized. But the central issue of the Marcus Garvey goes beyond the issue of return, but it was the issue of black empowerment in a society where things are not quite moving smoothly. So that's where Rastafarian came about. For me as a Nazarite, I stopped cutting my hair when in the 1995 Constitution they removed my human rights to belong to a party. I did not, 95 Constitution was promulgated in September, but I did not start till December.
It was in October 9th. Yeah, it was.
It did
October 9th.
8th,
I mean 8th, yes.
That's
October 8th.
The prayer breakfast.
True.
But I did not stop cutting my hair until December, because in December I was on a lineup for one of our colleagues who was getting married, and it's somebody who's very prim and proper. He's been lecturing around here. Peter Opio Cheng. We're together in Zambia. I was on a lineup for his wedding, so I had my hair properly done. But that was the last time I cut my hair, 95 up to 2005, when we buried Muse. And part of the issue of the Nazarite, Book of Numbers, you don't come in contact with a dead body. My father unfortunately passed in my arms, so I had to shave my head. And it's something which I mentioned yesterday at the burial. Because after we had finished the burial, when people left, Joyce was one of those who came back on the third day, and we stayed again together. So yesterday I was recognizing that one. So on the third day after my father was buried, yes, I lost the hair. But I was never...
Painfully?
No, I was comfortable with it, because the vow of what I stood for, I was okay. My respect to my father, I could afford to lose my hair.
Yeah.
I could afford to lose my hair. And then I had a chance for putting things forward. I'm saying here now, okay, will you go for the ticket? There's something here saying for sure next time, 2031, Omar Elem stand under UPC ticket. You will go through MP City West Mayor. Okay, City West Mayor.
City West or Mayor. And he's going to go out.
Okay, MP City West or Mayor. You have a fan.
Okay, so now, the best, apart from your father, who else stood up for you as far as issues of governance is concerned in Uganda, apart from your father?
You see, when you look at the program, you look at
least one person apart from your father.
You look at the program which was done by the Vice President on agriculture, especially the cattle industry.
Bukanya?
No. Vice President of UPC. Then a lot of the developments of the ranches and the growth in the agricultural sector fell at the docket of within that program. Then if I look beyond that one, there are people who I respect. Mother Teresa.
That of India, in India?
Yes. Martin Luther King Jr.
Is there anybody in NRM that you respect as far as leadership is concerned?
No, I have good understanding with people like Rugunda. We talk.
But that one has background of UPC.
Yes, I'm saying, but there are people I interact with. There are people who I respect across board, even if I don't agree with. That this is somebody who holds his line, he believes in what he's doing. I will respect you for that.
The way you respect me for being independent.
Yeah, but sometimes you want to be a little clever.
Clever how?
No, there are times you try to be a little clever, but also there are times you get caught yourself cornered into something. Like earlier on, you gave your statement only to go and hammer yourself.
Okay, so it's on to replay for you. And this time, one at a time. I'll start with you. I'll come to Uncle Nelson. I'll come to Francis. For you, which song?
Greater Tomorrow.
Greater Tomorrow. Please, producer, be looking for that song. In case you don't get it, remember these Gen Zs. Even if it's a South African song, I'll play it for you.
Akena.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let us give space.
There's no dancing.
There's dancing. You know, there's dancing. 2 months. Manu Fund standing as we conclude this program. That's what. Today, we first time. This song, I'm also trying to fall in love with it because of the reason.
The reason the song is powerful, but it keeps you focused, keeps you grounded. Whatever you go through tomorrow.
I know what you are dodging, but I know you are good at that one. I know what you are dodging, but I know you are good at that one. Do you remember we met in Amnesia? You first time. All Nelson should first start.
No, let's leave it there.
We leave it.
Yeah.
Let people enjoy. Let people enjoy. For me, this song, I don't want to mess it with us looking clumsy.
Just internalize the content.
Let the message
flow.
Yes, the message. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jim Akena will be standing up to give his last message as we finish this program. You're not dancing. I know that is what you're fearing.
I don't fear.
You don't fear dancing.
I choose what I want to do.
And from today, dance in the morning.
Today I am now ending with a hope for tomorrow. Whatever has happened, whatever has gone wrong, we must work for the better tomorrow. Whatever we have lost, it should not determine what we should aim for, what we should aspire for. There are people who are on the issue of the loss of animals and loss of opportunity. All of those should be lessons for us on how we can deal with our tomorrow.
Can we hope that one day we'll see Akena, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, and others who matters reconciling for a better tomorrow?
You see, where you miss me, I'm fighting for iPod.
iPod is the platform.
We meet there. We have a platform where we can meet and discuss. I'm ready to discuss. With President Yoweri Museveni, I'll discuss. If I could go with Nelson here to go and speak to Koi, what is going to stop me going to speak to Museveni? Even though I feel wounded, I will still speak.
Yes. Okay.
I'll still speak.
Okay. You are concluding remarks as we say bye-bye.
Let me thank the establishment for giving me this opportunity. I hope we've been able to cover some decent areas, and if there's any other areas to come through. But I request those who have access to my health policy or the UPC health policies, please write in. This is part of the issue of information to develop it further. At the end of the day, the product must be good for the people of Uganda. There are other policies to follow, and I urge UPC members, take time, read, understand. Where you have questions, please bring it forward, because UPC must present a formula which is going to work for all the citizens of Uganda, irrespective of where they are, what their political affiliation is. They must be able to have a fruitful life, and that's the Uganda I hope for.
Kore nywaga check pepiem kai wili tap achat kore mi vocha tekben no kochot gimni nuwe yen motilanyo itwala nyugali radio kwere t-shirt besen ke moto kena pola tata kore nywagi magilwanya take para yelo pu bari nya chenga taka pira nywagi chon kiri kuda bana nywagi por wonga mere kuka urego oyo bober zamsids melobo Zambia tie kore ZMS 451 cheka tech terms apart tuni ya paru ya rio hector chel kanyu ching piri por kindwera rio nuchu keke nui giroko opu tia dume yeni game changer acho ZMS 520 terudwera deka keniporo kanyu chenga lo biela don rikino pipira tata check terms abori tuni ya pari hector chel kadi code knock piragwanya acho ZMS 721 check